Okay, so the stream has been started.
Oh, disturbing you.
Oh, okay. There is. There's a full thing of.
There it is. It's
Yeah,
live.
well,
We're
I
happening,
guess-
baby.
There's an ice cream block in there. Full.
God, I
Fucking
have
did
too
it
many
now, you
freaking-
big
Oh, but
cheesy
oh,
magnet.
oh, there's none left to put away.
No.
Ah, well, that makes more sense. I was like, what do you mean there's none left?
There's none
Do you
left.
hear Chinny then?
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I've got me pretend beer. You know,
How-
I've got to have a pretend
Looking
beer
around.
while I'm
With that face.
doing this.
Yeah, I'm hearing Chinny. I don't know why.
Is he
I think
coming
it's-
through?
I think he's coming through you, Jay, somehow.
He is coming through me.
How
Is
are
he coming
you-
through allegedly?
How are you channeling
Fuck you.
Chinny? What?
Good for you. Aww.
Jay, do you have a
So on my
soundboard?
podcast, so Chinny did a load of what are called chin-ups. So if someone does something good or bad, I can play these sort of sarcastic, droney, backwards compliments to people.
I'm not going to get interrupted by stupid sound effects.
That was really
no, hang on.
good.
Oh yeah, there we go.
That
That's
must
the one.
have taken you hours to work that out.
This
Things
is
like
so- Chinny has talked more than
So-
anyone else here yet, and he's not even here.
Yeah,
He's here
unfortunately,
in spirit.
Yeah,
there's an echo. It's causing an echo, though.
There's
That's
a
the only
what?
problem with that.
there's an echo.
Yeah.
It's causing an echo.
Echo.
Yeah,
Oh
Right.
shit! Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's
Little bit.
not. It's not
Little
too
bit.
bad.
Is my voice echoing, or is it just the
No,
sound
it's
clip?
just the sound. Clip.
No, just a sound
You
clip.
want to try one more? See
Ah.
if you can.
Okay,
No,
hang on.
no. Can I just say we don't want battle of the sound clips? Can I just say
You don't want Battle of the Sound Clip.
I don't want no battle of the sound clips.
Yeah, all I can
LC,
say about
man.
that is
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. Right, are we ready? Oh Jesus Christ!
you picked the
Help
wrong
us.
person to guest host this week, motherfucker.
I did.
All right, we
I
ready to
did.
start?
I'll refrain. I
I
Okay.
am not promising to refrain.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
Here we go, people. Come on. Yeah.
Welcome yo to the veteran gamers. Juju, Ginny, other fellas will tell you about every single game that you play in this week.
That's weird.
Reviews and an indie pick.
It's very strange what Eric picks, like, the sound effect.
Soundbite saviors.
Please don't touch my floppy
Veteran
cock.
gamers.
Her name is
Veteran
Jacinta.
gamers.
This is boring. I'm bored now.
It's the veteran gamers.
Don't make me break my foot off in your ass!
Yeah, boy.
I shoot birds at the airport.
Switch
Everybody
that
hates
console
birds,
off before
right?
you have to press repeat, yo.
Hello and welcome to episode 698 of the Veteran Gamers Podcast.
Yay, we got the number right. He said episode correctly. We are
I
happening,
did.
people. I'm
No.
Duke.
I'm Stu.
I'm Jay.
There he
Yay!
Sex noises into the microphone for 10 seconds.
Do you know, when I asked him, I thought it was a good idea.
You were wrong.
I'm not
wrong.
as sure.
Worst
anymore.
That wasn't my sound effect then. That was all Duke.
No,
Yeah.
I get that. No, I mean just in general. Just
Jay-
asking in
yeah.
general
Right,
was
right.
maybe not a good idea. I'm just saying.
That's right. Well, anyway, we're
Holy
glad you're
crap.
here, Jay. Now, why are you
Yeah,
here?
we are. Yeah, why are you? here?
Because Stu invited me at long last. I've been sitting
Yeah.
by the
Whoa,
computer for
whoa.
years waiting for
He's
that
just
invitation,
waiting.
and it's finally
Don't you want to go
here.
to work, Jay? No, I'm going to get an invite any day.
No,
now.
I've invited. Can I just say to clarify? I've invited him twice before, and he was busy on both occasions.
Oh, you were lying
It's
to
true.
us, huh,
Yeah.
Jay?
Yeah, he was. So
Okay.
it's not the first time. It's the first time he's bothered to turn up.
your ass.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah, he
Holy
can.
moly,
Well, we're
moly.
glad you're here now because
Yeah, we are
Chinny's,
glad you've. My
Chinny
family
is a
made it.
punk. He's out
he
in
is.
Vegas losing his life savings, and they couldn't wait another month to have me out with him. So screw them.
Aw.
No, we hope they're having a good time. I mean, Vegas is America's playground, so maybe
Oh,
they're
it's
robbing.
a crazy place to be.
Yes, it is.
Have-
Maybe
have
they're
you been
robbing
before,
three
Duke?
banks. I have. I went. I had an uncle who lived out there, and his parents, and they every night instead of like watching movies or something, they would go to the casinos. And I was broke before I went out to California for the summer. This was to do East Timor stuff, and 'Tis the season. I just did the East Timor presentation on Thursday and Friday of last week. Anyway, so we went to, so I went to stay with them in Vegas. They live in Vegas. Who lives in Vegas, right? Well, whatever. But I was so broke. Every time we went into the casino, my uncle would go, "Hey, high five." No, it was my cousin. Sorry. He goes, "High five for luck," and he'd have like $10 in his hand. He'd like hand it to me. I'm like, "That's fine. I appreciate that, but how long is $10 gonna last me in a casino?" I'd get nickels and just sit and play the poker, the video poker, and like I'd lose it in a half an hour, and they were there for like 3 hours. I'm like, okay,
Wow.
not my thing.
I'm concerned Chinny is already like in a gutter or something somewhere because we haven't heard from him.
Well, why
Not
should
heard
we?
a
He's too
thing.
busy
Well,
gorging himself on
He
multiple
might have just
buffets.
checked in and said, "Hey, I'm having a great time without you." You know
He's
what I mean?
climbing the casino pyramid.
He's took advantage of the clickety-clack prostitute cards that
Yeah,
are
he
down the high street.
Swimming around in the Bellagio fountain.
Maybe
Did you get offered one of them clickety-clacks? So like these sort of with the cards, and then they sort of do a little dance, and then they hand it to you, and you're like, "Oh, okay."
I
Well,
have no idea what you're talking about. Sorry.
Yeah, I have no
no,
idea what.
oh,
he's talking
maybe
about.
it's just me.
They just
Okay.
saw you
Maybe
coming,
it
and they're
was
like, "Hey, get the
just you.
clickety clacks ready. Here comes that guy."
Yeah, here comes. Yeah, you get the clickety clacks out. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
you,
saying.
you get a bit sore after the third or fourth one.
Death
Anyway.
by
Wow.
snoo.
Anyway, swiftly
Yeah.
moving on. Hey,
All
talking
right.
of Saw. Talking
Uh-oh,
of Saw.
Stu's got a
Oh,
story.
Story
Holy
time. Fuck yeah. Coming again
Oh,
to
God.
tell a motherfucking story.
That
about
sound
your
clip was
lives
never
that's
meant to
not
be used.
gaming related.
Oh, well, it's too
None
late,
of these
you did
sound clips were meant to be used on a podcast.
It was supposed
That's
to
not
be
how it
so
works.
bad that
If
you
I
would never
only-
ever use
if
it.
I only used the sound clips that are supposed to be used or good enough to be used, then I wouldn't have 90% of these, for God's sake.
it. What is the matter with you? You send Duke a clip, he's gonna use it. What are you thinking?
Yeah,
Stu,
well,
you said you
that's
were
true.
sore.
So there you go.
Yeah. So talking of Saw, right? Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Uh-oh.
So, as I mentioned last week, I've got this 24/7 heart monitor on for 4 weeks, right? I have to go
Yes.
every week and get it changed.
And it's okay for you to shower with it.
It's okay, apparently so.
And
So
you
I went
sent me
to get it
pictures of you in the shower, so I'll go ahead and pull
I
those up
did.
here.
I did just to prove it was fine.
Yeah.
But I went to get it changed on Tuesday, and yeah, I literally thought she was pulling the skin off my chest.
Oh my God.
I mean, this thing is brutal when you take it off. I mean,
uh-huh.
it is that sticky.
Yeah.
And so much so, I have got scabs where she ripped out hers by the root.
Oh my goodness.
You know, like scabs on my chest. And she was Scottish, and I think she was being mean on purpose.
That's racist.
But I know exactly. But the first nurse gave my chest a bit of a shave before she stuck it on.
Oh yeah.
This nurse, not so much. I mean, she just left all the hair there and stuck it over it.
Ah, you
And I
can
like-
you can take it. You know, you're a real man.
Oh.
No fooling! I'm from North Giltown.
So I'm expecting even more pain this week when I
Yeah,
go and
you
get
are.
it swapped over. Oh,
There you go.
crap, swear
So,
to
but this
God.
is your after this week. You're halfway through. Is that right?
Yeah, 2 more
Okay.
weeks.
Okay.
2 more weeks, and I've got an
Stay
echocardiogram
strong.
as well. I
Yeah.
know, yeah, and then I'm done. All the
Sure.
tests are done, and then they
Okay.
can decide.
very
how
good.
fit I am.
Yeah. Good luck with
Yeah.
those.
I
Jay,
know, yeah.
do you have a story?
I got a new job.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
That's a good story. What's the new
congratulations.
job?
Yeah, that will work. So I'm now the conference and hospitality manager for Bolton Wanderers Football Club.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Right.
Yeah,
Footy.
so that's pretty good. It's
Yeah, it's kind of what you did before, isn't it, for a job? Back in the
well,
day.
kind of. I was back in the day, yeah, and I did Harry Potter: The Forbidden Forest. That was my gig
Oh,
for
that's
the
right. Yeah. I
last
remember you
2
posting pictures
winters.
about that.
But that's it's either taking a break this year in the UK or I don't know what's going on with it. So I thought I'd move on to something else, see how it goes, go from there. But yeah, so Bolton Wanderers. It's like buying a dilapidated house for you to mold into your own image, kind of thing.
Interesting. Did you know that the
That's how I
article on
put it.
Wikipedia for the Bolton Wanderers FC is a good article? It's not a featured article, but it does have that little green plus sign in the corner. So That's pretty cool.
Do you know what's kind of
Okay.
interesting about Bolton Wanderers? They were obviously in the Premiership for quite a while,
Obviously.
and they invested a shit ton of money in that. It's a lovely stadium. It's a lovely stadium.
University of Bolton Stadium.
But now they're playing. Is in the first division now. They're not even in the Championship. Are they in the Championship?
Yeah, League One they're in, which is
League
below
One,
the
yeah.
Championship. Yeah, they were one game away from, well, I suppose, one game away from winning the playoffs and getting into the Championship, but they failed. They lost 1-0.
They won the EFL trophy
story.
in the 2022-23 season.
Yeah. But it's
You
kind of
know
a
so
sad
much.
story.
I just happen to be
amazing
interested in this
what
particular
you
football
knows.
club.
It's-
Yeah, I mean,
What are the odds of that?
Well, I don't get it. They're based in Horwich, Greater Manchester. Why are they called
Norwich,
Bolton?
yeah. Because it's kind of part of Bolton. It's on the outskirts of Bolton.
Make up your mind, England. What is where?
But that's where the stadium is.
I want to know why they're called the Whites. That's racist.
That is quite racist, actually. Yes, I did bring that up.
Is it really?
Yeah. No,
That's one of the changes I want to bring. I want to
Trotters,
make it,
Wanderers, and the Whites.
It's because
black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because the shirt is white,
Oh,
so
I
the
see.
kit's
So they
white.
have a racist shirt, is why.
Yeah, they have a racist shirt.
Okay.
But yeah, a bit of a fall from grace. There was some, I believe, there was some irregularities in bookkeeping, and they were deducted a shit ton of points.
Oh boy.
And that's why they were demoted. So yeah, it didn't end well. It didn't end
They
well.
almost went into liquidation a couple of years ago,
they did.
but they're on the bounce back.
Hey.
But there are a lot of improvements needed to be made.
I can imagine, because I would imagine it's not been well looked after for a while because there's not been as much money coming in.
No, but there has been an injection recently. I've also been promised a bit of a raise in July, perhaps.
Oh, ka-ching.
We shall see.
Yeah.
We'll see how things go.
Well,
I've got
if they get it up,
things.
if they get up back into the Championship next season, that's definitely going to help.
Yeah, that's going to bring more money in. But anyway, what I've been doing over the past week is making a list of things that absolutely have to change for this place to succeed.
Yeah.
A list that should change, but we could still work around it, and then a list of things that I'd like changing, but it doesn't really matter one way or the other. So that's what I've been doing. Talking to every single staff member, seeing how we can improve their daily life in this job.
Yeah.
Um,
and to try and do that. So that's the plan.
Well, I've actually been to a few functions there back in the day. So yeah, sort of a long time ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago. But yeah, I used to work in a private hospital, and we used to use it quite often for meetings, etc.
Oh, which room? Do you remember?
Do I? Hell, it's a long time ago. I've slept since then.
Just be happy that you're walking the same ground that Stu
Yeah,
walked.
we got the tour. We got the tour of the grounds and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I've been and done all that jive. But yeah, long time ago. Yeah. And
So
then
we've got Pink coming in next week. She's locking down the stadium with a security crew. She's doing a few days concert, so that's going to be fun.
Nice. Very cool. Well, you're not the only ones who have been doing exciting things, because Stu, Jay, I kind of hoped Chinny would be here for this because he's the one who brought it up at one point, but that's okay. I'm glad you're here too, Jay.
Fuck you.
Stu, do you remember Chinny once upon a time saying that you sound like a particular kind of person? You want to tell people what he
me?
said? Yeah, you. Specifically, you sound like the type of person who wears a particular kind of thing.
I have not a clue. Pair of wellies? I don't know.
Hey,
Yeah.
look who got a flat cap. What?
Oh, nice. I like flat
Yeah.
cap. I like
I
it.
It's from
love a flat
Ireland,
cap.
actually.
Nice. That suits you.
Yeah. It was a little big, so I had to sew some stuff into the back, a couple of strips of fabric, but now it's all snug on my head. It's not going to fly away. So, yeah.
Wow.
I got me a new hat. How about that?
You need to work to mill, lad.
Yes, I do need to work that
down
middle
to
lad.
mine.
Yeah.
Down to mine. Yes, you look sophisticated.
I swear by flat caps. I have literally about 15 flat caps.
Nice.
Really?
Love them. lots of different colors, shades, patterns. I love flat caps.
Oh yeah, here's the Simpsons clip. I got a reference from the Simpsons to go with it.
Headline, Springfield, the elusive beer baron continued to thumb his nose at authorities. Swaggering about in a garish new hat, he seemed to say, "Look at me, Rex Banner, I have a new hat."
Look at me, Rex Banner. I have a new hat.
You do have a new hat.
Brilliant.
You look rather dapper.
Thank you. I think it hides the chrome dome pretty well. I also got I got to see my doctor again to get the red. I got to get this goop to put on my whatever. It's all very boring. Nobody wants to hear about medical stuff on a video game podcast.
Exactly.
Am I right?
Unfortunately, it doesn't hide your face.
Well, no, but I could pull it down a little bit more and be like, I don't look quite so tough if I had a baseball cap, but whatever.
Chinny sent a message about your hat, actually. He said,
Not bad.
Oh,
For
nice.
you.
I'm glad he said it. He likes it so much, he said it twice. So
I wanted a Peaky Blinders.
that's what
So
someone
there you
said. A student said, "Hey, do you watch Peaky Blinders, Mr. P?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Well, that hat's right out of that show." So I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, it is.
Hey.
Although they're a bit wider. They're kind of wider.
Well, okay. All right, are we ready to talk about some video games then?
I think we're ready to talk
Where are you
video
going?
games.
Story time's over, isn't it?
What you been playing?
All right.
That's it. Cut off.
Well,
Job done.
Chinny's complaining that it goes on too long.
I
so-
know. Do you know, I was saying to
Occasionally-
Kay, right? I said every now and again, Chinny gets a bit like uppity. Do you know what I mean?
He
He's
just
like,
says, I don't think he's getting uppity. He's just offering a suggestion to make the show a little
No,
snappier.
but he's quite late. Like most of the time, he's like he almost doesn't give a shit about anything, isn't it? You know what I'm
that's
saying?
fair.
It's like
Yeah.
he really doesn't care. And then every now and again, he was telling Duke off for clacking on his keyboard. He was
Well, that's
telling...
a fair criticism.
Yeah, but I mean, he was telling.
But
off
either he
using
cares or he doesn't.
random
I know what you
sound
mean. He either pick one,
You know,
Chinny. You should care or
he
not
gives
care.
It like
right.
he doesn't give a
Yeah.
shit, and then
Right.
on the next day, he's having a go at you. You know what I mean? I can't figure.
And
it
he's
out.
cataloging every game we've ever played, but he doesn't.
Yes,
I mean,
he is.
I think he does care. He just has to act like he doesn't care
He
because
has
that's how
to
you be
pretend he
cool.
doesn't care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever, man. Like
Pretend-
whatever.
And he's
on The
like,
Simpsons.
oh, I listen to every 10th episode or so just to do a quality control check. I'm like, you are.
Yeah, right.
Who the fuck does that?
Yeah, really.
know
how
what I
often
mean?
do you guys listen to past episodes?
If there's nothing good on my podcast feed, I might listen to one that we recorded recently, but I always
You
the whole
listen
time
to them
I'm
all the
I'm
time, don't
thinking
you?
about
Yes,
like
you do.
I'm thinking about like, oh God, I sounded so obnoxious there, and I went too hard on the clips or whatever. Like I'm criticizing myself the whole time.
That's good though. Self-criticism always works. I can safely say I've probably not listened to an episode of our show for probably 5 years or more. It's a
Damn.
long time since I last listened to one of our shows because I just think
Well,
when it's done, it's done. Why
it's
do you need to
done.
listen to it?
Yeah, I just
There's
heard
nothing you
it
can do
when
to
we did
change
it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
You
why
can't
I'm
change
here
it.
to do quizzes about the past episodes. So you
Exactly.
can remember again.
Past episodes. Woo! All right, so games that we have been playing this week. Who would like to begin?
I think the guest should start. so I think
Yes,
we should
Jay,
start
by all
with
means,
Jay.
tell us what you have been playing.
Okie dokie. So I've just finished on my lovely Steam Deck a game called Mad Max.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Oh,
good
I'm
game.
sure you've probably
Past.
played before. I finished it twice already, and I've just finished it again for the third time. It's it's a solid game.
It is.
There's not much going around in the environment. The environments are quite sparse, but the combat is absolutely just superb. That kind of Batman Arkham Asylum combat where you're waiting for them to make the first move, and then you counter, and then you're beating the shit out of them in like a sequence which goes on to the next person, then you can, get your shotgun in there and blast someone halfway through, or grab someone's axe halfway through and then use it against them. It just looks so sick, so sublime.
Yeah.
It's great combat. I love games that have that kind of combat. The Assassin's Creed kind of Batman Arkham Asylum, Mad Max. What else has got combat like that? Anyway, yeah.
Quite a lot of games, isn't there?
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed set a new standard, and a lot of people say, yes, this works. Let's keep doing that.
Yeah, I feel like, though, I'll be honest with you, I feel like Arkham Asylum kind of perfected it from Assassin's
sure.
Creed.
I think that's true.
And especially all the stealth takedowns and
right,
stuff
the
like
stealth
that.
and the hand-to-hand, because Assassin's Creed always had a lot of weapons, so yeah. Arkham said, let's do that with hand-to-hand, and it's perfect for
Yeah.
Batman. So yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
I just
it's
got done
fantastic.
watching the 3 Batman, Christopher Nolan Batman movies. Those are the only 3 now in my mind. I just got done
Yeah.
watching them again, and I was thinking, like, when I get done with these, maybe I'll want to go back and play Arkham Knight some more, and then I didn't. So I'm usually very suggestible.
Arkham Asylum is still the benchmark. It's great.
Yeah.
As the following games were, that's kind of is the one that sticks out in your memory because it was just
Oh, sure.
so
It was the first, yeah, and it was so well done.
and it was
Absolutely.
great.
Yeah.
I'm always doing things like that. When you watch some kind of sci-fi and then you want to link it to a game experience, don't
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Don't you? So you play Mass Effect or something.
Yeah, God
Or
help
you
me
watch
if
a
I watch
Western, and then you
it's Red Dead time.
exactly, and then
Yeah.
then you go to Red Dead. I'm always doing that. Always, I have to link my experiences with TV and video games. But yeah, so Mad Max, it's a solid game. It's a solid kind of 7-8 out of 10 game. It took a lot longer than I thought it would. I mean, I did everything, collected everything. It took like 50 hours.
Wow.
Which is quite a long time.
Wow, that's a big time investment, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is.
It was, but it's on the Steam Deck, so you pick it up when you're on the couch.
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes here, maybe an hour there or whatever, and it just builds up over time. So I've just been playing it over the past few months, a little bit at a time, and it's great. Steam Deck, so good.
Let me ask you a question, Jay. Let me ask you a question. Because obviously you spent quite a bit of time and money making a gaming PC. Probably was it about 2 years ago now?
I did, yes. You helped me. You helped me a lot.
I did. So would you say though now, if the Steam Deck had been out, would you have just got a Steam Deck and not bothered with a gaming PC?
That's a very good question. Probably not. No, I think I would have gone for the gaming PC because at the time, Planet Coaster was my focus, and I wanted to make it look as good as possible and to get more items on there. You needed a good PC to fit lots of coasters on there without it starting to run slowly. And I knew that at the time, so I would have built a PC regardless, I think. Yeah,
fair enough. I don't think I'll build another one. I think I'm going to stick to the Steam Deck. I've got a dock for it. It looks fine on the telly. It all works great. And where I'm currently sat now, we're going to knock this down and make it into a proper extension. So I probably won't have room for a gaming PC once that happens. So it's going to be Steam Deck all the way for me moving forward.
Wow.
I'd say my split between console, or the console, I don't play a console, the PC and the Steam Deck is probably at the moment 80-20 Steam Deck.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
I only go on the PC really to play on Planet Coaster.
Are you confident that most of the other games you'll want to play are available for the Steam Deck?
I think moving forward in time, they'll do an upgraded version. So I think this is something that's going to continually evolve.
Yeah.
I think had it not sold so well, because they've had a few failures. Like the Steam controller was a bit of a failure.
Right.
When they first did the Steam machines, you remember these back in the day?
I looked into one of them. They just seemed overpriced.
Yeah, where they allowed the license to be used by all these different PC manufacturers to, label their machine as a Steam machine, and they had these kind of console form factors. But yeah, they were overpriced and underpowered, and most of them couldn't be upgraded. So once you got it, that was it. So they sort of died a death and never really took off. So then Valve obviously decided to do their own thing with a Steam Deck, and it's been a huge success. So I can't see any reason why this won't continue to evolve and get more powerful over time, really.
And it seems like something that developers have to consider, you know what I mean? Like once upon a time it was like, okay, we'll make our game, and then we can maybe adapt it for the Steam Deck or whatever, or make it compatible. Now I think developers know that there's such a big player base that they ought to make it compatible from day one.
Oh yeah, I think it's kind of a given now that a sort of big AAA title coming out is Steam Deck compatible. It seems to be the thing they want to sort of stick on Steam is Steam Deck compatible.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I finished Hogwarts Legacy, which is a really good game.
Brilliant.
But on Steam, I'm playing it on my PC. I had so many problems with frame rates and crashes and this and that and the other, and it was just driving me insane. Because when it played well, it played beautifully. But then it would crash. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
for fuck's sake, I've got to start the whole thing again. Like reboot the PC, get back in there. But on the Steam Deck, not a single problem.
No, I played the
One
entire game.
crash.
Entire game
Yeah.
on Steam Deck, medium settings, looked
medium.
great. Played quite a bit, sort of with it docked on the TV, quite a lot of it handheld. Never had a single crash. Had a few little drops in frame rate when there was a lot going on screen. But most of the time, it was as smooth as anything. It just ran perfectly. I never had any issues.
Now,
Yeah.
did you guys know that this game was originally intended as a tie-in with a Mad Max animated film released simultaneously?
I didn't.
Apparently,
I did not
was
know
a
that.
thing. Yeah, I know, right? It's pretty surprising. And Warner Brothers Interactive said it's better that a standalone game because it's more beneficial. They decided it was more beneficial after the success of the Batman Arkham series. So there's the connection
There you go.
once again.
But I must admit, Millie's boyfriend Adam has got a Steam Deck, which he got for his 21st birthday, and he is a bit like Hardly Dan. He's a huge tinkerer. I mean, he's doing cybersecurity at university, so he's into PCs anyway, and he's been modding it and doing all sorts of crazy shit with it. Whereas I've got sort of Game Pass streaming working on it. I just have it just says Game Pass on it. There's no icon. He's got all the fancy icons going on, and everything is installed. And he's this weekend he's been installing a Switch emulator, and he's had bloody Animal Crossing running on there. He's got Tears of the Kingdom running on his Steam Deck.
There you go.
So yeah, he's
That's pretty
been
crazy.
messing around with it. Yeah, massively. He's been fiddling and faffing, and he's like downloading bloody all sorts of stuff that takes hours and then transferring it. And oh my, I couldn't be bothered, quite honestly.
I just play it for the Steam stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
I just
that helped
wanted
me
to
set
work.
up some stuff as well. When I first got it, we stayed up till quite late in the night, and he was giving me step-by-step instructions, which are a fucking nightmare when you're trying to use the onboard keyboard without, connecting anything to it.
Yeah,
But
it's horrendous. It is horrendous.
But yeah, I generally just use the stuff that it says works on it
Yeah.
at the moment.
I mean,
And
this just to show you how popular the Steam Deck now is. They've started selling these small form factor SD cards to upgrade it. So these SSDs, like the M.2 ones. But they're selling the ones that are compatible with Steam Deck, so they're sort of half the length. So there's quite a few of them coming out now. So you can tell how popular, how well this is doing by all the stuff that's coming out with it.
Tempted Duke?
Steam, brilliant.
No, I have no interest in a handheld of any kind. Thank you, though. I had a Wii. I had a Switch for like a week. I had a Wii U.
I remember that.
I had a DS at one point. I never played any of them. So I'm happy with my gaming PC. I built it in 2019, and it's still running strong. So
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. The only other thing we have to say about Mad Max is that it came out on the same day as Metal Gear Solid 5. How about that?
It did. And it also, can I just say, it doesn't, and I'm just going to say this, TJ, it doesn't quite meet the veteran gamer's 12-year rule.
But
so
that's
it's
okay.
only 8 years.
It's a 10-year rule, isn't it?
10
No,
year
it's
rule.
only
You
8
said-
years.
No, yeah,
Yeah, but I
it's
thought your rule
it's
was
a
10
10-year
years.
rule, yeah.
No, 12, Ginny always says. 12 years.
I don't remember. I thought it was.
I don't
I'm
know.
pretty sure that was 10.
Well, who cares anyway?
Well,
However,
Jay
it's
listened
not
more
long
recently
enough.
than Stu did, so we'll take Jay's word for it.
Yeah,
Who
it's
knows
not
more
long.
about your podcast than
Yeah,
me?
exactly.
I
Come on.
don't know.
Anyway, Stu, you're up. What do you got?
Right. Well, I'm going to talk
Wow.
about Max Payne 3 because I'm still playing that game. Talking
Aw,
of fucking
snap.
games from back in the day.
Yeah.
Have you played this, Jay? Have you ever played Max Payne 3?
I keep hearing you
Oh,
bumming it, basically, and I'm very tempted to buy it because it's very,
Well,
very cheap.
It's very
But no,
cheap,
I've never played
and
it.
it's fucking amazing. I mean, this game, it's typical Rockstar. I mean, this game rewards you for killing people.
Yeah,
I mean,
it does.
nearly all of the achievements revolve around how many people you've killed with a pistol, how many
Sure.
people you've killed with a shotgun, how
Yeah.
many people you've killed with an SMG. You know what I mean?
Alright.
This is kind of the way this goes. And you can get golden parts for your gun if you search around the levels, and obviously then you can have all gold guns, which is a bit of bling.
Nice.
But it just works so well. Shooting people in the face is never been more fun.
Why though? Why? What makes it a step above a normal shooter?
I think the mechanics work really well. Rockstar aren't the best at shooting in GTA games, as we know. So you do rely a lot on the lock-on on this, because free aiming is just rubbish.
Yeah.
But it makes you feel. I know we've said this in quite a few shows now. He is the worst bodyguard in the world. I mean,
Yes,
you do not want this guy protecting you in any way, shape, or form.
Nope.
But as a mass murder simulator, this game ticks all the boxes. If you want to kill a lot of people in a lot of shooty ways with lots of different types of guns in slow-mo, then this is the game for you. And it just has great set pieces. I mean, some of the set pieces are just amazing. There's like one bit, and it's just amazing. You're in like a bit of a speedboat chase, right? And you go flying through this building like a ramp, bit like James Bond, and you fly out the other end, 20 foot in the air, above the boat you're chasing, and then it gives you this massive slow-mo section where you've got to take everybody out who's on the boat below you.
Yeah.
Just shoot them all one by one, and it just looks amazing. It's just so good. I can't tell you. I mean, if this game came out, if someone told me this game had came out a year ago, I probably wouldn't argue. I'd be like, yeah, looks like a game that came out a year ago. It is still that good. And it
See how much that is now.
That's high praise, man.
Yeah, it runs brilliantly on the Steam Deck as well. It's a perfect Steam Deck game.
Yeah.
It's so good. The cutscenes are great. The dialogue is great. The voice acting is top notch. Like, everything about this game just couldn't be better. It's just so good. And you can be so creative in the way you kill people.
$5.39 currently.
Oh, honestly, that is a bargain of the year. And I know I bang on about this every week. For anyone listening to the show who has never played this game, you owe it to yourself to buy it at that price for Steam. You know what I mean? If you got a Steam Deck, it's just great. I mean, everything's destructible though. It's like you realize how crap games are made these days, because like literally everything's destructible. The glass, the cardboard, the boxes, like when you have a shootout in an office, there's just papers flying everywhere. Stacks of paper are just like exploding in all directions.
Yeah.
It just does such a great job of making you feel like you're in it, like you're in a massive action movie. So good. And
I might pull the trigger on that by the end of the show.
Yeah, there's not a lot else to say about it. It's just such a brilliant game.
Play
If you've
it.
never
Just
played
play it.
You owe it to yourself to give it a go.
Yeah.
You do. So there you go.
Sure.
That's it. Duke, over to you.
Yeah. So there's this game called Rocket League. I don't know if y'all have heard of it, but it's a lot of fun, and everybody should play it. And there's nothing else to really say about it other than I love it, and I play a lot of it this week. I've also been playing a lot of Saints Row. And I don't care what people say, man. I'm having fun with this game. It's ticking boxes for me. Let me fast forward to something else. It's kind of tough at times. Like, there's difficult missions. Like, I had to do a couple that I kept dying on. Just because some of the bosses are like, you see this dude fighting a guy in a minigun in a truck with a turret on it. Like, he's messing you up. And then these other people came by and they had these like science fiction weapons that would like drain you with 2 shots. And I was like, damn, I'm getting wasted here. But it's ridiculous. You got all sorts of style options for how you dress. You can fix your hair on the go. And I'm representing the row again. I've always had a fondness for purple. So the fact that you're, representing the Saints with purple, whatever it is, it's great. It's a lot of fun, and the lock-on aiming it works great. And I finally today I unlocked the insurance fraud. I don't know if y'all played these back in the day. You ever play these, Jay?
Oh, I love insurance fraud. That's amazing.
Insurance fraud is the best. And in this one, like when you land, because you get to adrenaline mode, and so you're just flying all over. And then when you land on a car, you blow it up. So it's not just that you're bouncing off of cars, but you're causing explosions as well. And it's it's a lot of fun. So, I mean, I'm starting to see a few cracks in the machine in terms of like why some people would say it's not as much fun. It's not as madcap. The humor is more sedate, and they are going for, I think, a little more realism. And the other thing is that like you start off working for this, protection services company, some security group, and then you take over this church, and that's your new base. And the place is a shithole. And like, apparently in order to like decorate it, you have to go around the city and take pictures of stuff. And then you can put that thing in. I don't know what the connection is between taking a picture of it and having it decorate your home, but there it is. So it's kind of weird. And, I wish I could have a nicer place to live in right off the bat, but whatever. I mean, I'm sure I'll decorate it soon. And in the meantime, it's just ridiculous, fun, stupid, action-packed, a lot of killing, a lot of shooting. And I'm loving it. Saints Row, baby.
Did you play the fourth one?
I never got around to playing the fourth. I have it, and I remember installing it at one point, but for whatever reason, I never played the fourth. I think people told me that it was so bonkers and over the top, and I mean, that's rich coming from Saints Row, But I think I was like, I like the traditional Saints Row, like, GTA style, but really silly. So I don't know. I should play it, I guess, but I'm definitely going to finish it.
So I know people didn't seem to like the fourth one that much. That was like quite critically panned, if I remembered. But I quite enjoyed it. So, if this one also panned, if you say it's good,
hey, you know what? I'm having fun with it. And like a lot of people, look, the fact that it was panned probably is why I got it so cheap. So like, I'm fine with that. Critics want to hate it. People didn't like it as much. Okay, I don't know what to tell y'all. I'm having fun with it. So suck old bub.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, that's the thing. It's subjective, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's your opinion, and you like the game. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks.
Yeah, and it's like what you want from it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people are wanting, especially game reviewers, right? They need to make their review not necessarily edgy, but they need to have an opinion, like a perspective, right? And my perspective is like, I want something ridiculous. I can run around and shoot things and have a lot of activities to do. And this game is packed with activities. I keep getting distracted. It's crazy because there's these pop-up activities. Like you've got, oh man, there's all these different levels of things. You've got your side hustles, you got your main story missions, you got this, you got that. But then there's things that just pop up. And they tend to be either, one's called dumpster diving, where you're literally just going through the trash. And one is called like drug pallets, and I don't know what the story's supposed to be behind these, but they're these usually on people's roofs, like these huge pallets of drugs, and you go up and you click a button and then it's yours and you get $2,000 or whatever. And it's like, I keep doing those because they keep popping up on the map, and I'm like, this is stupid. This isn't so much fun. I don't like diving through the dumpster and stuff. I want to do crazy madcap stuff where I'm blowing up things, but whatever. Those exist as well. And you got a wingsuit in this game, which is great. So I'm really having fun with that. It is. I must say this. This is pretty ridiculous. There's a part where your friend gets shot. Spoilers for the first hour of the game, and it's this big deal, and they're like playing the sad music, and it's like, we got to get him home and all this stuff. And it's like, I just shot 700 people. And like the idea that, oh, my friend got shot once, and I'm getting shot 100 times every mission. So the fact that my friend has been shot once, I'm like, okay, that seems a little out of proportion. You know what I mean? It's a little weird. So, yeah. What else?
I mean, I'm looking at it. I must admit, I do like the art style of this.
Yeah.
And I do like all the particle effects and all the shit blowing up because, that's what I like. I mean, it's very similar to Mad Max not Mad Max, to Max Payne 3 in that respect. A lot of absolutely over-the-top combat and stupid, massive set-piece type stuff.
It's way over the top. I'll give you that. And, like, the drifting works really well. And I said last week that there's a mechanic to, like, swerve into the cars on the left or right side of you, which is very satisfying. So that's good. There's one mission I did where you have an RPG with, like, unlimited ammo, and there's, like, 100 cars coming at you all the time, and you're just like, that's very satisfying. That's, like, the best stuff ever. Anyway, so at one point you get fired from your job, and then you're basically like moping around the apartment, and it actually says like mope your way into the kitchen, and you can't run or walk normally. You're just like slowly trudging from one room to the other, and then at one point you're hungry, and there's like no food except for like there's one waffle in the freezer. So it says the mission objective is toast your lonely waffle. And I thought that was pretty cute to be like, you're so depressed and angry and like. Toast your lonely waffle. So I did. I toasted my lonely, or I would have if the toaster hadn't spit it out. And then I was like, man, this sucks. We need a new toaster. So, yeah.
So
Saints
there you
Row,
go.
wacky, silly,
Saints Row.
a lot of fun. Thumbs up. Check it out, people.
Very
Oh,
cool.
I don't even know what else to say to that. I mean, this game is a game that's
It is a
crazy
game.
batshit.
Yes,
Or
it is.
batshit crazy.
And you can toast a
probably.
lonely waffle, or try to.
And you can toast a lonely waffle.
Yep. All right. Should we talk about the Play My Game bitch?
Yeah, let's do that. I'm assuming you haven't played this, Jay.
I can't remember what it was. What was it?
Weird West.
Weird West. Have you got Game Pass?
Yeah, bitch! Yeah, bitch!
Play my game, bitch.
Yeah, it's got the Breaking Bad connection.
Yeah, bitch!
Yeah,
I did have Game Pass until they just told me to fuck off, basically.
Well, fair enough.
That's weird that they would
They
say
just-
that.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Yeah,
that they
my-
do that.
Whole Microsoft account just stopped.
Oh, wow. That's
Really?
I-
I don't
I-
feel that's a good business model.
No, well, I rang them up to say it's stopped, it's not working, and they said I've violated something. And I
what
said,
did you
what?
do, Jay?
What did you
And
do,
Jay?
Jay?
They didn't tell me. I was like, oh, well,
You know
okay.
what you did.
You do?
Sex noises.
That's what you did. You said sex
That
noises
isn't-
into your
yeah.
mic. That's against the
But,
terms
yeah,
and conditions.
I don't know what.
of Xbox Live.
They've not told me.
That's
So I'm very confused. So I've put a complaint against them, and I'm just waiting to see what happens because there doesn't seem to be anything else I can do right now. I've gone through all the formal channels. Well, there is that. So I pulled all my funding. So I was paying them a lot of money for OneDrive and Xbox Live and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And now I pulled it all. So fuck you, Microsoft.
that's crazy. Because I
Wow.
log into my PC with Microsoft account.
Yeah.
Don't you have to do that?
Sorry, say again.
Do you still log into your PC with your Microsoft account?
No, luckily it doesn't. It's not connected that way. It was only through bits that are connected to it later on. So sort of, everything's through Google at the moment.
Okay.
So
that's good.
yeah,
Anyway,
I've done a
so
new
the-
account on my Xbox.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
All right.
Regardless.
So the takeaway is you did not play Weird West, but we
No,
did.
you did not play
Yes.
Weird West.
Yeah.
But we
Long
But
story
imagine
short,
a
I've not
weird
played.
game set in the West.
that is kind of it with
Yeah.
werewolfy type
Yeah.
feature things. Who knows?
So
Who
this
knows
is
what they
a
are.
third-person kind of isometric game set in the West.
It's a bit like Diablo set in the cowboy
It's like
setting.
Diablo set in the Wild West, but also DayZ style. It gave me a lot of, not really DayZ in that it's, so desolate and empty, but there's a lot of running around and getting stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
And-
and there's a lot of random encounters happen between areas.
Right.
if you
So
will.
it's not really an open world in the traditional sense that we now know it as with like Skyrim or Witcher 3, but rather you leave one section and then you see, for those who aren't watching the video, like you see a little icon travel across the map. And then it'll say like interrupted by caravan or, wolf attack.
or interrupted by wolf attack or
Right,
coyotes.
Right. I mean, that said, the combat's fine. I didn't really have a problem with the combat. It didn't feel super fun, but it was just
I like the story. I'm kind
The
of
story's
got
all right,
into-
yeah.
I played this for 2.5 hours.
Oh my god.
I
Not
know.
me.
So I started playing it, and I'm like, oh, I'll just play this quickly and get an idea of whether I like it or not. And then before I knew it, 2.5 hours had
2.5
gone by, and
hours. And Millie's
I'd
like,
rescued-
Dad, I'm so hungry. When are we gonna come to dinner?
I'd rescued some dude from a cage and sort
Oh.
of got the blacksmith back in the town. I rescued him at the same time. And you can choose to either do stuff or not do. So I could have just
Yeah.
left him there, but that wouldn't have
Well,
been any
yeah.
benefit to me. So I didn't have to save him.
So the only reason you
Uh,
saved him is to
Well,
get
I
the
want better
benefit.
weapons, man.
Oh, okay.
And obviously
There
it gives
go.
you a discount as well because obviously you've saved
Yes.
him.
Okay.
So yeah, I want better weapons and discount.
All right.
I love the morality system in this game. So
Yeah.
when I
that's
got
cute.
to the first town, I was looting all the bodies, and the townsfolk are proper like, "Whoa, what are you doing?"
Well, what else am I supposed to do with these corpses? It's the Old
Exactly. You see, all
West.
these people are dead, and now you're robbing them.
Yeah.
So yeah, they didn't like that much.
I will
The
say
fact
the
that everything
sorry,
was
the thing that came up on the video there of when you get the final kill in a group of enemies, it'll like zoom in for like a close up of the kill cam.
yeah,
I
a
thought
bit
that
of
was
a
pretty
slow
cool.
mo kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Stole it off of Skyrim, but that's okay.
They did, but it's still cool.
Hey, if you're gonna
Um,
copy a game, Skyrim's the one to copy. We all agree.
Exactly, I guess. But then to be fair, it was done in Fallout 3 before
Yeah,
Skyrim.
I know. I'm just playing.
Just saying.
Yes.
But yeah, this game, I actually pretty liked it. I liked it quite a lot.
I liked it
way
okay.
more than I
You
thought.
know what was annoying to me about it? Like I guess I'd never heard of it. So the idea of it being this like AAA thing, I didn't think of it as a AAA game so much as I did like a kind of relatively minor game. And I know it's not, but when I started playing it, it was like telling me about all these things to do and all these systems and like check this and you can upgrade that thing to this thing. And I was just like, I don't want to have, because I knew I wasn't going to be playing it for very long. So I just wanted to get started, and it was walking you through a few things. And I was just, I don't know, it was my expectations, I guess, that were wrong, but it just felt frustrating that I couldn't just jump in and start playing it.
Yeah, but there's a lot of shit to learn. I mean,
There
there's
is
a lot of
shit to learn.
systems in this
Yeah.
game. But when I went to the first main mission and you have to rescue this dude,
Yeah.
it was a lot. It was almost like Metal Gear Solid 5, you know, where you're sneaking
Mm.
around taking everybody out.
Yeah.
It was doing that, hiding the bodies, putting them in the long grass and hiding them behind rocks and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And just gradually depleting the population of the sort of town that you had to take over to do the rescue mission.
Yeah.
And it just worked really, really well. And you have to collect stuff. You have to find the rope to get down the well,
Right.
and all that stuff. Once you're in the bottom of the well, then you've got to take out. And then there's obviously a mini boss at the end of it who you've got to kill.
Right.
And it was just a lot of fun. And there's lots of stuff you can do in combat. There's like chemicals you can spread. There's stuff you can set on fire.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah, there's a lot of variety. I mean,
way
that's,
more
yeah.
impressed with
The
this
other-
than I thought it was going to be.
I mean, that's fair. The other thing is the reading, and again, it's ridiculous that I was turned off by that because normally I don't really care very much. But again, I wanted to get playing, and they were going through all these things, and like you're kind of making choices about stuff, and I was just like But I mean, whatever. Those are not complaints about the game. They were just my state of mind wasn't really.
I mean,
proper
did
for
you do
game.
this section of the game that's on screen now where you're questioning the dude in jail?
Yeah, I think I did that. And
Yeah, I
was just-
broke
but
all his fingers.
But I was
I
just
just went
like,
for
I
the
want to get
finger
done. I want to
breaking.
get done. I want to get done. So it was like, but that's part of the game. You know what I mean? It's like if you're playing Disco Elysium, you don't just skip past all the dialogue. You know what I mean? Like, so
God no.
right. So that was again my shortcoming when I was playing it. But I just found this out. This is interesting. This is from the Wikipedia page. Since the game includes the presence of Native Americans, the team invited the Anishinaabe to ensure that their depiction in the game is authentic and added a writer who is Anishinaabe and Métis, Elizabeth Lapensee, to the writing team. So that's pretty cool.
I think there's a lot of things about this game that are cool. I'd never heard of it before,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool.
Pretty
Looks very
I don't-
Telltale.
Not really. Not really.
From
It is-
from the pictures I'm looking at, it looks like kind of like not cell shaded, but kind of
Oh, it's
comic booky.
cartoony. It is comic booky.
Yeah, it is
that's fair.
cartoony, but it's a
In that sense, like,
completely
but not in
different-
the
yeah,
sense
from a
of, like-
gameplay. Yeah, gameplay wise, it's nothing
Again,
like
it's
that.
very
No, I-
isometric
yeah,
from
I-
a distance and stuff. So
I only
Yeah.
mean like the aesthetics rather
Aesthetically,
than
yeah,
from
aesthetically.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
got you.
But I definitely recommend people give this a go on Game Pass because it's
Hey, if you got
probably a
Game
game
Pass,
that you-
there's definitely worse games out there. Yeah.
definitely if you want something that's just kind of fun and interesting, then this
With
is
a lot of
this is
reading.
definitely with a lot of reading.
Yeah.
This is the game. Enemy AI is pretty good. Like there's some of the stealth doesn't work very well because sometimes you come up on environments where it's really difficult to sneak up on
Yeah.
people.
Now, can
'cause there's
you?
a lot of open
I don't know that I
areas.
played it enough to find out. Like, can you get better at stealth? Is that like a skill you can level up?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. I'll be interested. I mean, I'm watching this now because this next section of this game is where I kind of ended up in the all-out shootout.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if you wanted me to stop it or
Knows how
something.
to, how to stealth through it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Is like I generally don't have the patience for a lot of stealth. Like there's parts in Assassin's Creed Origins, which I played a little tiny bit of, not worth talking about in depth, but this week. But there's parts that you can either stealth or just go all in. And now that I got the double swords, every mission I'm just like, fuck your stealth. So.
Yeah. And I think that's part of the trouble. But ammo's quite limited, so you're encouraged to.
Right. Which again, we all know how much I love limited ammo. That's why I like Saints Row. It's like
Yeah, so ammo is quite limited.
This guy had a baseball bat. I killed him with my pistol, and I got 20 pistol bullets. That's very fortunate. What are the odds? If you had pistol bullets, why were you attacking me with a baseball bat, dude? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
But anyway, Weird West.
This play is pretty much done the same as I did, so he's just shot him.
Yeah.
So it's a great game though. I really enjoyed this. I was way more impressed than I thought it would be, and it looks great.
Yeah.
Graphically,
it
looks
good.
really, really good.
And it's generally pretty fun if you don't mind a lot of reading and gathering of loot and learning systems.
Yeah, there's a lot of systems, a lot of stuff to do. It's fairly in depth.
Yep. But there's also, like you're combining stuff. You got meat and cooking stuff and whatnot. So.
Charlie McGarry in the chat says, do you guys have any good Xbox recommendations? I've not played in over 2 years, so I want to get back into gaming once my exams are over. So I guess, Charlie, I would ask you, what type of games are you into? So what sort of type of games? And we'll try and give us, because we could recommend pretty much anything, but it doesn't mean to say it's something you're going to want to play.
So all my favorite games are on PC. So I'm trying to think of games that are played on the console. I mean, Saints Row is pretty fun.
Yeah, I don't think that's on. I'm assuming
Xbox?
you want Game Pass recommendations
Game Pass
as well,
specifically,
potentially. So let us know.
Ghostwire Tokyo was good. Oh, Redfall. We all liked Redfall.
Yeah.
That just came out, so.
Redfall's way better than the reviews suggest.
Here's what we would recommend, Charlie. If you don't have Game Pass, that's really a good idea because you'll get a lot of the best games that came out in the last 2 years, and you only have to pay like $10 a month. So it's a good value.
Yeah. As Dusk Falls, that was really, really, really good.
I didn't play that.
Have you played that, Jay?
As Dusk Falls, no, I've not yet. No.
Do you have any recommendations for our friend? He says he likes first-person shooters mainly. Used to play Rainbow quite a lot, but want to get more into story-based games. And yes, he does have Game Pass.
As Dusk Falls, then, is a great recommendation if you want a story-based game.
Dishonored. Or Dishonored 2. I played Dishonored quite recently. It's actually on my list. But that's a great first-person story-driven game.
Yeah, agreed.
If he's not played that before, I believe is that on Game Pass?
Yeah, they both are. Yeah,
that is on Game Pass.
And totally recommend Redfall. We were way more impressed with that again, but then we thought we would be.
Yeah. And it's a first-person shooter. Good. It's got. I don't know if the story's amazing in Redfall, but it's a great open-world game. So, yeah, I should have played that this week. I don't know why I didn't.
Yeah, I need to play more of that, but I'm on something else now. So you know what I'm like. Shiny games come along, and
but I'm the same way too. I got Arkham Knight still waiting around. He's writing all these down so we can have feedback. Yeah, that's right. You send us speak pipes.
Yeah, you
Charlie.
tell us what you think.
Yeah,
you tell us what you think.
Tell us your thoughts. All right. Anything else to say about Weird West there?
Hi-Fi Rush, by the way, that's great as well. Hi-Fi Rush, give that a go.
Okay. Right. Anything else to say about Weird West?
No, not really. I think it's a pretty good game. Check it out.
Great, Jay. Back to you.
So I've not been playing this long. I've probably put a couple of hours into it, but I've been playing Enslaved: Odyssey to the West on the Steam Deck.
What a game!
A game I finished many moons ago, and I thought, I'm going to give this another go because I remember it being great, and it is great.
It is.
It's so slick. The combat is like fast and kinetic, and the environments look gorgeous, and it's just really it's like an action movie, isn't it? Everything's like fast, and it's sort of cutting here, there, and everywhere when you're climbing on especially with the opening sequence.
The opening is like a movie.
The ship
is literally like you're watching a movie.
The big ship that's crashing into New York City, and you have to get to the escape pod before it crashes, and it's like a tutorial, isn't it? Really, about how to do the combat and jump and
there it is.
Nudging you in the direction of where to climb and seeing those red kind of flashing-y bits that are quite clearly the bits that you can grab onto.
Sure.
But it's just, it's so fast and kinetic, and the acting. Oh, Andy Serkis as Monkey. I think
Yes,
his monkey.
so
Oh, he's brilliant. Yeah, I mean, I can only comment on the first 2 hours because I don't really remember that much of it from back in the day. It's been a while since I played this game, but the dynamic between them. She's had to put this slave helmet on him because she needs him to help her do something. And that's kind of like the dynamic at the moment. And if she dies, that sends a signal to your helmet, which kills you. So you have to reluctantly keep this woman alive and find whatever that she wants to find. I don't really know what it is yet, but yeah, I've only put I think it's about 90 minutes maybe I've put into it so far, and so far so good. It reminds me very much of The Last of Us, or because it's New York, all dilapidated and all fucked up, and the buildings kind of leaning to one side and stuff.
Right.
It feels very, very much like that, aesthetically. Anyway, gameplay wise, it's just a big sort of twat 'em up.
Yeah.
that is pretty much.
It's good. It's a good game, and it's dirt cheap. I think I bought it for £2 or £3. Playing it on the Steam Deck runs perfectly on the Steam Deck, as does everything at the moment. So, so far so good.
I mean, they obviously made Hellblade as well, which is Ninja Theory, which is such a great developer. But yeah, I totally recommend if you've never played any of their other games, they're all pretty bloody good. Do you know what I mean? If you've never played Hellblade, the first one, Senua's Sacrifice, it is such a great game. And Hellblade 2 is coming soon, so I'm very excited for that.
Hey. Did y'all know this was originally pitched as a CGI film?
It wouldn't surprise me because it's so good.
Again,
so much information.
I'm just such an interesting person with all this knowledge. Apparently, hey, Eco, the dynamics between the two protagonists was inspired by Eco. That's my stuff. Eco and Yorda. What?
There you go. Well, I don't even know what to say to that. Yeah. But Enslaved, I've been playing this on Steam Deck as well, and it just works so well. Again, it just works brilliantly on Steam Deck.
Yeah, it's a perfect title for the Steam Deck. It's just that it pick up and play. It auto saves every sort of set piece bit, doesn't it? So you don't have to worry about that. Just literally play a segment, put it down if you want. It's really fun, fast. If you've not played it before, it's one of them games that kind of was overlooked. I think it was. It didn't make that much money. I remember it was
apparently a financial
it was a bit of a
failure,
flop. Yeah. Which was a shame because the reviews were amazing for it. I remember the reviews were great, the sales were shit, and that's a little bit unfair. And the general public is to blame.
Yeah,
so
but fortunately, he kept going and carried on making great games.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, because they made the Devil May Cry game as well, Ninja Theory. I don't know whether you know that. But the DMC one, so the one that was called DMC is the one that they made. So yeah, it's bloody good. Bloody good. Give it a go. Bloody good. Colin Old Cars says, am I late to be the party tonight? But is no one playing Tears of the Kingdom? What, like me? I'm about to talk about this game right.
Hey, Stu got you covered, man. Don't you worry. It's a happening.
Take this.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Wow. It's funny you should say that, Duke.
Duke will be pleased to know this game is fucking terrible. Honestly, why everyone is going on about this being Game of the Year, I have no idea.
You're lying.
Because this game sucks ass. Oh,
no, it doesn't.
Honestly, those breakable weapons are a nightmare.
Tell the truth.
I mean, for the first 10 minutes, you're just wandering around aimlessly trying to figure out
what go ahead. Say what you want to say.
You're supposed to be doing. Whereas in fact, actually, I'll put a link in the show notes, dude. You just need to click on the link in the show notes.
What? Okay.
Which is a
whatever.
Non-commentary playthrough, which is perfect for this show.
I guess I could do that.
I know you could do that. It's amazing what technology does.
Why would I
do,
want to?
And the internet. But yeah, no, sort of joking aside, this game is just brilliant. It builds on so many things that the first game did and makes them infinitely better. Now, Duke,
I'm not going to play it. You might as well just no, I'm not going to play it.
This may change your mind.
It
May
won't.
change your mind.
Do your weapons break every 2 minutes? Yes,
Well,
the
let
answer
me
is
come
yes.
to that.
But you can
Let me
combine
come
them
to
with
that.
other. My students have been through this, dude. You're not going to tell me anything my students haven't told me. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm being a jerk. Go ahead.
So the first impression I got, I'll be honest, it gave me eco vibes.
Okay.
Aesthetically, it's
Sure.
it's got this.
A lot of people love that
this,
game. It's an amazing video game. I want to go back and play it, not play
It's
this.
got the reason I say that, it's almost got this sort of, like in Eco where the main character looks superimposed on the environment.
Yeah.
It
It's an
kind of has
amazing
that
world.
aesthetic.
Okay.
It almost looks like Rotoscope.
Yeah.
Where sort of Link sort of looks like it's been superimposed on top. And I know that sounds weird.
Here's the question, though. Hang on a second. This comes after the Breath of the Wild, right?
Yep.
Okay, and it's Link, the same guy, right?
Yeah.
So here's what I don't get. Over the course of Breath of the Wild, you build up your stamina. You can climb for an hour by the end of the game, right? Why
That's
are
totally
you
true.
starting over here with like 2 ounces of breath? in your-
Because you start the game with like about 20 hearts and you're all fully.
Oh, and then you get hit by a curse.
Yeah, so
Oh, for
something
fuck's sake.
something like that kind of happens. So
damn
this.
it.
And it's pretty violent.
I mean,
there's,
I
like,
get
blood
that they
flying
need to start
everywhere.
you building up again. That's the fun part.
Yeah,
Is
so that is kind of what happens. So yeah, the start of the game. I don't want to spoil it because obviously it's all the story stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this bit. Can I just say, is on screen now. You jump off this enormous tower.
Yeah, you know what it looks like?
Right.
It looks like the start of Saints Row 3 when you're falling out of the jet and
It
you're
does. It
dodging.
does but there's no parachute here.
Yeah, well, you don't have a parachute in Saints Row 3 for most of it. You're
I've read an
clasping
article.
onto like crates that are flying past you.
Yeah, there's none of that.
Anyway.
I read an article the other day that said this game is ugly. Well, that person needs
What?
fucking taken to task because this
Why would you
game
say that?
is not an ugly game.
I hate
by
this
any
game and I think it's
means.
pretty. I don't know what they're talking
And
about.
I think the reason, yeah, I mean, his hearts go because for plot reasons. I've just said that, but without obviously giving away any of the plot. But yeah, he said it was ugly, and the reasoning he gave for it being ugly was because it's not photorealistic or in 4K.
Well, duh.
Right.
It's not supposed to
And
be.
I'm
It's
like,
a
well,
video
that's-
game, you idiot.
That's not the aesthetic of these types of games.
What a
That's not
schmuck.
how, the sort of Zelda games look. But I think it looks great. The clouds look great. The sky looks great. Sunsets are just amazing. The colors that it produces. This game is so good. So anyway, you get into it's a little bit like the first game. So you're on that little plateau on the first game, and you can't leave it till you've done certain tasks.
Yeah.
It's the same sort of thing. So you've got to complete 4 shrines before you can get to Hyrule properly.
Right.
So you've got to do all that stuff. But each of the shrines gives you a new power.
Yeah.
So when you first get you get into this what looks like quite a big open world, and you have to find these shrines, but it does quite a good job of channeling you down the right path to get to where you need to go.
Uh-huh.
So even though it feels quite open, it isn't that big an area, but it's big enough to feel like you can explore a bit.
Right.
So it does such a great job. And the first power you get is Fuse. Is it Fuse? Or is it not Fuse? No,
Fuse.
it's I think it's Fuse. Oh no, it's not. It's the big hand thing. So it's the sort of, I can't think what it's called now.
Pimp
it's
slap?
Like no, you can stick. So what this does is takes crafting and simplifies it.
Okay.
And it's something like Mega Hand or something like that it's called.
Okay.
That's how terrible I am with my memory. I should write notes, shouldn't I, or something?
That thing looks like an iPad. Ah ha ha ha.
Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, it does. No, it doesn't. It looks like a Switch.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, so you get this thing called Mega Hand.
Okay.
And what Mega Hand allows you to do is stick anything in the world, like one thing to another.
Ah.
So you can make bridges, you can make platforms, you can make stairs, you can
Okay.
make... Like, one person made a cart with wheels on to carry his stuff around in. So all
Okay.
the stuff he collected, he just put in the back of his cart and attached it to his horse and stuff.
Ah.
And was just dragging this around the world with him. But you can make all sorts of war machines and all sorts of stuff once you get further into the game.
Okay.
So it's almost like this Ratchet and Clank mechanic, where you can just build all these weird and wonderful machines and all this kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
You can build rafts. You can put them fans on the rafts to blow in the right direction to where you want to go. So you can do all. So I'm sure it's called Mega Hand or something like that. It's called.
Okay, we'll take your word for that.
So that's cool. So you do the first shrine, you get the Mega Hand skill, and that's that. And then you do the second shrine, and you get what's called Fuse. And Fuse allows you to, like... So when you're saying about breakable weapons, that is true, but there's fucking shit ton of weapons. And every, like, creature you kill drops something sharp or drops something you can fuse to the weapon you've got. So if you get, like, for instance, there's, like, guards, if they drop, like, a guard thing, guard horn, or whatever they drop.
Okay, I'm sorry, so I hate to interrupt. That dude just flopped off of a big cliff onto like the shallowest part of that lake.
Yeah, you can.
And he lived.
Can land in,
That's
you
bullshit.
can land in any water from
bullshit.
any height.
It broke his neck, dead.
What difference does it make? What do you care?
Because it's not realistic.
Game. I hate to tell you, it's a video game.
Yeah, but if you can just dive off of anything, imagine if an assassin's. Oh wait.
Yeah, but if you hit the ground, you do die.
Well,
so
he hit the ground. It's just there was
there
was a millimeter of water above it.
Yeah. As long as you hit water, you're fine. But what I loved about Shrine, right? The first when it introduces you to Fuse,
yes,
it gives you a rusty old claymore and a boulder, and you attach the boulder to the end of your sword.
What?
Which then becomes this massive swinging fucking thing that knocks down walls, and it's just like that's just brilliant. Why has every game never done this? Oh yeah. The fun you can have experimenting with weaponry and sort of sticking one thing on another and seeing what it then does. It also works with arrows, so this is how you get exploding arrows. It's how you get sort of guided arrows.
Okay.
But you can attach stuff to shields, so you can kind of pretty much like let your imagination run wild and think like, right, what would happen if I attach this? If you attach two wooden clubs together, you just get a really long club, and it also increases
Mega
the power
club.
Yeah, and once you attach something, it renews the weapon, so it becomes like fully ready again, so it doesn't break just quite as quick. So they have addressed some of this stuff, by doing that. It doesn't feel anywhere near as frustrating.
Hey, if you're having fun with it, that's great. More power to you. I ain't going near it.
And later in the game, you come across an enemy, which I found out, obviously, but this is from just reading shit. And if you drop weapons on the ground, they swallow them and then repair them for you and spit them back out again.
Okay.
So they have included that in the game, but that's only later in the game.
I see.
But yeah, I think this is potentially going to be definitely on a lot of people's game of the year list.
Yeah, I mean, my students were going nuts over it, so I know.
It's so good, honestly. And I've only got, and then you've got Ascend, which is just brilliant in the way Ascend works. It allows you to go through the ceilings of caves and stuff, and you pop out on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want,
it's hardly Dan in the chat.
I haven't seen
is
it.
he? I don't know.
No, I only asked because he's the person to ask to get the Switch games on the Steam Deck. He'll know how to do that.
Okay.
And it does look like one of them games I'd love to play.
Hey.
But I'm not buying a Switch. I don't need a Switch. But apparently you can get
can
Switch
play
games
it.
on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, I was just saying earlier, Millie's boyfriend Adam that is exactly what he's done. So he's got Tears of the Kingdom running on his Steam Deck.
It is possible.
Along with Animal Crossing. So yeah, it works perfectly. So yeah, he had no issues. He had no issues at all. But yeah, it's just great. And then the other one you get is it's like rewind or reverse. So you're allowed to reverse machinery that's going in one direction. You can reverse it. What's great about that is though, say a sort of creature throws a rock at you, you can pause it, click reverse on it, and it obviously goes straight back at the enemy that's just thrown it at you. So it just reverses and kills the enemy for you.
Yeah.
So it can be used in combat. It can be used in solving puzzles. Honestly, the creativity and thought that's gone into this game is quite astounding.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I've only played probably about 3 hours of it, 3 or 4 hours. But yeah, I am in. I am totally hooked already.
All right.
And I've only literally just got to Hyrule, and obviously it's just massive, a little bit like the first game. Yeah, you can go in any direction, you can go wherever you want straight away. So
it's just going to be like a 60-hour game.
I imagine it's going to be a big game. Yeah,
big game.
It's going to be a hefty undertaking. So good though. Totally recommend it. Got a Switch. Got to play it. It's kind of it, really.
I mean, that makes sense. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
There's no other
you
reason
owe it
to have
to
a Switch,
yourself.
really. I mean, yeah.
Owe it to yourself to play this game.
Yes. Okay. So Jay, back to you.
Okay, what have I got next? So I've also started on the Steam Deck. Everything's about the Steam Deck.
I know everything's about Steam Deck
I'm
these
alone.
days.
Metal Gear Solid 5 again.
Wow.
So again, I
classic.
played this back in the day.
Yeah.
Great game. It never seemed to end though. It
Yeah.
didn't seem to be a definitive end, which was a bit weird. But yeah, played it way back when. Great game. So I thought, let's try it on the Steam Deck. And of course, yes, it works. It works absolutely perfectly. I've only played the first. I probably played 3 hours of it. And I forgot how fucking batshit crazy the first 2 hours are.
Really
My
batshit crazy.
God, the hospital bit. Jesus. I'm like,
It's crazy,
fucking
and it's
hell,
really like it's kind of infuriating. Like it's so
yeah.
get down, don't be seen by anybody, and then it's like shoot everything.
Oh, it was, yeah. I mean, it's interesting, but my
Yeah.
God, just crazy shit just happens, and you know, physics is thrown out the window, and
Yeah.
other sciences thrown out the window, and then finally you get to Afghanistan, which I think is the first area, and you start to actually play the game.
Yeah.
But my God, it takes a while to actually get
It
there.
does. It's like an hour before you're actually playing a game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's just
It's not.
it's typical Metal Gear mania craziness.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned this. I went back to it maybe a couple months ago to just, I don't know, have a whack at it again. And like I started over, and because I think I maybe got 2/3 or 3/4 of the way through for whatever reason. I was like, I had some mission where I was just getting stomped by this tank over and over again. I was like, I'm not having fun with this. But anyway, I started over and I did that first hour, and I'm like, this is fucking bonkers. And then I got to Afghanistan, and like, it's so. I don't know how I did it the first time, because I guess I was more patient back then, because again the stealth thing, I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna go over, and it's like 70 people coming from nowhere. I'm like, holy shit! And once you're seen, like, forget it. You got to get unseen.
Oh
quick.
yeah.
So it's I thought of it. For whatever reason, I had thought of it as like an open world shooter. It is not. It is a stealth game through and through.
Oh,
It is
definitely.
absolutely a stealth game. Yeah, absolutely. But I like those kind of games where you're in control,
Yeah.
but if you fuck up, then you will pay for it.
Yeah. Sure.
And you will fuck up quite a
Yeah.
bit, and it's so tense when you're trying to sneak into a compound and rescue a person or whatever. Especially if you're rescuing a person, you've got to lead them out,
Yeah.
or God forbid, carry them out, so you can
Oh,
only
God.
get your pistol out, and you're slower. And but it's I love those. I love those kind of games. I love stealth games. I love
It's very
big
well
open
made.
world.
It's very tactile
Yeah.
and satisfying, and yeah.
When you can approach it in a few different ways. I mean, you can go in all guns blazing if you want.
You can.
You do get some
just better
big,
have a lot of
powerful guns.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And how tense it is when you call a helicopter and you're trying to extract
Oh, yeah.
someone.
Right.
And you've got enemies coming in, like closing in. You're trying to sort of fight them off or whatever, and get your
and I
person
do
onto
remember,
the
like,
helicopter.
the satisfaction of loading the person in and watching it take off. It's like, oh, thank God. Yeah.
Yeah. Did this have? Can't get my words out. I'll try that sentence again. Does this have the Fulton packs?
think so,
The thing where you attach to people and they shoot off into the sky.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
balloons.
And
Yeah,
that's
Yeah,
weird
I'm not-
because
I'm
you
not-
would think that would attract a lot of people, but it generally doesn't. Okay.
I've not got to that bit yet, but I remember that being really fun. So like, because you're basically building an army, aren't you? So all the combatants on the map
Yeah.
are potential comrades
Right.
for the end of the game for later on,
Yeah.
which is really cool. So you can kill someone or you can interrogate them.
Sure.
Stick a Fulton pack and
Yeah.
have them fly into the air, and then they'll get like brainwashed or interrogated back at the HQ, and then they're your soldier. You can use them, you can play with them, you can
That's
send them to do missions and stuff. It's all coming flooding back. I've not got to these
It
bits
is.
yet, but as I'm playing it, I'm remembering why I like this game so much.
Can I just say, only in a Metal Gear Solid game are you following a dude whose bum crack you can see through his medical gown when he's crouched and moving along? This
Well, we see what
seriously is
Stu's
the only game.
focused on here.
No, but it's kind
I'm
of hard
just
not
kidding.
to
I
see.
know. Yeah,
It's
I can't.
hard not to
I don't
see.
know where else to look except at his ass.
Exactly, this dude's
Yeah.
bum crack.
Yeah, maybe at the demon
mean,
floating in space
what
with his fire hands.
The hell?
Yeah,
It's a highly detailed bum crack.
that's
The
right.
highly detailed bum crack
It's the most
is
realistic
going
bum
on.
crack you can see.
It probably is. That
Yeah.
this game has a lot of realistic stuff that no one
That's
ever wants
true.
to see.
Yeah.
But I always thought it used to be thinking it was funny when you got back to base and you had to go and shower in the what looks like a portable toilet.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah. You're covered in blood and stuff. If you depending
Yeah.
on what mission you do, or how violent you are, you're covered in blood and sand and stuff. Which I find that's really cool.
Yeah.
I tend to keep that on me because it makes me look badass just being covered in blood.
Yeah.
But then you start attracting flies, and then
Flies.
everyone starts commenting that you
Yeah.
stink.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great. I can't wait to get back into it, into the proper meat of it, because it's a great game.
Word.
You just have to get past that crazy fucking first hour.
It's pretty crazy.
You do. You
Yep.
definitely
Indeed.
do.
Yeah. All
But yeah,
right.
that is Metal Gear.
Yeah, back to me then.
It is back to you.
So I played a lot of Rocket League this week, and I was talking to the Duchess about it, and I was like, I should play something else, but I don't know. I only want to play Rocket League. And she's like, well, there's tomorrow morning, because this was last night. And I was like, yeah, maybe I'll play something tomorrow morning. And I did. So you'll be glad to know I played something else just for you, Stu, so I'd have something else to talk about.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a game you're going to be very happy to hear about.
I can't wait.
Yeah. It's called Zombie Blocks 2 Open Alpha.
Brilliant.
What the fuck is?
It's
That's why I love you, Duke. All these random
yeah.
piles
Well,
of
I
crap
feel
that
like
you just bring in.
sometimes he just makes shit up. It's like a made up game.
every
man.
day at noon, Steam updates with the latest sale. There's 2 games on sale, right? And so I go to check those out. There's midweek sales, there's weekend sales, and then I always scroll down to see what the latest games are. And they kind of curate a little bit. They don't just put any random shit up, but they also have the demos and whatever free to play games. And I occasionally browse those. And I don't remember when I added this, but it wasn't too long ago. And it's trying to be DayZ. It was made by one guy. You're basically it's very, very basic graphics. You're in a neighborhood. I guess you're on an island or something. There's like 3 weapon slots, one for a pistol, one for a rifle, one for a melee weapon. There's a slot for beverage and food. You got food levels, water levels, energy, stamina. The guns actually work okay. Like for what it is, it's pretty decent. The houses are not amazingly detailed, but there's like 7-8 rooms in each house, so you're going through, you're collecting ammunition and all of that. I was actually doing pretty well. I figured I would play this for like 5 seconds and then switch it off, but I was doing pretty well. I downed a lot of zombies, and I don't know why he keeps bashing the door. Why not just open the door? Whatever.
Because
anyway,
what is the fun in that?
because bashing it takes a long time, and you use up a lot of stamina.
So basically, this is just a lo-fi DayZ.
It's a lo-fi DayZ. Yeah, exactly. And the zombies are very slow, so that's nice. But one of the objectives, once you finish with doing you can see on the screen, it says like sprint, jump, roll. And I keep forgetting about the roll. But anyway, or I did the half hour I played this game. Anyway, so at a certain point, you kill 3 zombies, and then it's like, whatever, like find a rifle. And it's like, okay, I did all those things. I was like, this is okay. And then the objective is defeat the zombie bosses on the island. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. But it got to be nighttime, so I'm like, oh shit. And I went into a house and I just hid while it was nighttime, because you don't have any flashlights or nothing. So there's no way to
It's literally pitch black, is it?
Well, it's not totally
very
pitch
dark.
black, but it's certainly dark enough, and I didn't want to take any chances on getting surprised by zombies. I'm like, I'm just gonna stay inside till the sun comes up. And it did, and it wasn't too long to wait, so it was fine. But anyway, so I went to the building where it's like, and it doesn't have the map had a green exclamation point. And I was like, I guess that's where the bosses are? I don't know why it's a green exclamation point. Why not put a red skull or something on there? You'd think, right? So,
Yeah.
whatever. Anyway, you can see the sun going down here. Don't be out past nighttime.
Oh my
Maybe.
god.
Anyway, so I went to the place, And it's like a 6-story building, and there's all these zombies, and I have no ammo. So at a certain point, I was like surrounded by like 10 zombies, and I had like 2 bullets. And eventually, you know, I tried getting away from them, but I couldn't, and then I died. And it was like respawning. I'm like, no respawning. No, thank you. I'm done.
See, that's like me playing Dying Light. I never went out at night time. You know, once it got dark, I just went to a safe house and stayed there.
Yeah.
So, but you got better weapons, you know, you got better loot at night and stuff like that. Got more XP for killing zombies.
Yeah.
But it came at a fucking cost because most of the time you were going to get your ass handed to you.
This is driving me nuts. The dude keeps bashing these doors in. There's no point. There's never anybody behind them.
He obviously likes just hitting
open
doors.
the-
Who knows?
But it takes like 10 hits to break a door.
I don't know. Maybe he thinks it's more fun if he was like pretending he was breaking into these houses. I don't know.
Yes, I don't know. Anyway, that's
I
something.
just realised I can go on YouTube and actually watch what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, there you go.
Or you could just watch the stream at the same time as your podcasting.
I think that's what
what
he
I
meant.
tend to do.
Did
Yeah.
you go to our stream, Jay, or are you going?
That's
to
what I mean.
look
The
these up?
stream, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good stream. Everybody should check it out.
Yeah,
We
it's a
stream
decent stream,
every
you know.
Sunday.
People should watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jason
indeed.
said Hellblade 2 is coming out June 11th, so that's not too far away.
Not too
3,
far. It
3,
says
4
still
weeks?
on the website. It says still to be confirmed. So I don't know.
Well, we want to know where you get your
I don't
facts
know.
from, Jason. Come on.
Don't know, Jason.
Yeah.
Because
I don't trust anybody
Ninja
whose
Theory
name starts
themselves
with
don't
J.
know when it's coming out. They don't know when it's coming out.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
How do you know?
Because
Yeah,
he's got
exactly.
insider information, is how.
Must do.
Yeah.
Must do.
All right, that's all I have to
that's
say
it
about
for me.
zombie blocks.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
it
have
for me
anything
for
else.
games. Have you got any more games, Jay? You got anything else?
I mean, there's Planet Coaster, but I can
Real
talk
quick,
about that
tell
for
us
about half
Planet
an hour.
Coaster.
So.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can't tell you really quick. Basically, okay, I'll go as quickly as I can. I'm working on the roller coaster. I've completed the layout. I've completed the queue and there's the scenery. It's
So
in
are you
like a
designing
castle.
your
It's
own
all...
coasters at this point then?
Oh yes. So it's like electricity themed. It's about this crazy guy who's got lots of crazy shit stored in like Pandora's box, and he kind of like warns you like don't enter this area.
Nice.
Or you'll die, that kind of stuff. And the coaster sort of launches you into this. Well, you go through this opening scene where there's weird things locked up in cages, like big spiders and crazy stuff. Yeah. And then I've done like a voiceover for the whole thing as well. So it kind of warns you about what you shouldn't have come here, but now you're here. Fuck it, I'm going to open Pandora's box and show you what's inside, that kind of stuff. So then it launches you into this room, and then it completes like the layout.
That's awesome.
But I scored my own music for the queue.
Wow. That's intense.
I've scored the music for the ride, and I've synced it up with every single element of the ride. So I'm really proud of it. I'm getting better at this thing.
So when you finish these things, like, then do you make like videos of it? Do you export the file so people can ride on it? It's not a multiplayer thing that we could go to your park, right?
Well, with Planet Coaster, I can export the entire park, so then you can then download it on yours. You can add to it. You can walk around it. You can
I just want to
play with it.
Man. That's awesome.
I could do videos for it. I mean, that's the idea, to upload some videos onto YouTube and just show you what how I'm progressing.
Yeah, we want to see it.
I've just not got to that bit yet. So
how
I'm going to
many
make it
hours
absolutely.
Would you say you've put into it so far?
This roller coaster alone, I've probably put over 100 hours.
Oh my god, that's insane,
Yeah.
dude.
No,
that's very impressive, though. That's very cool.
Because I want to go full on with it, because you might as well. You can have custom soundtracks, you have custom this, custom that. Everything you can queue it up to every part of the ride. Yeah. So I just how I approach my coaster is I'll talk the elements. I'll record the how do I say this? So when the coaster's going round, I'll be like, going through, entering room 1, holding in room 1, holding in room 1, holding in room 1, launch into room 2, room 2 around the corner, and then over Air Hill into the second launch, and I just keep saying this, and that creates a a time code that I can then use to score it.
Sure, sure.
So then I go into the music software and I can score each bit separately, so it kind of syncs up perfectly. So that's kind of what I'm doing, and it's working quite well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Working very well.
And are you doing this? Sorry, are you doing this in like the career mode, or are you doing it in just like free design? In other words, do you have to keep making money and stuff?
I've never touched career mode. I've played this game.
Give me unlimited resources, and I'll just make my awesome stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. 300 hours, and I've never ever been on the actual proper game.
Well,
I just want unlimited money.
Sure.
So that's why I need a really good PC, because I want to put a lot of elements into this park, and it will struggle eventually.
Right, right.
Depending on how powerful you've got, how much RAM you've got, and all this stuff. Yeah. So I love Planet Coaster. It's my favorite thing ever. I'm a huge roller coaster nerd. I could tell you what type of roller coasters and what kind of park, as in the manufacturer and the type of ride it is. I am a super roller coaster geek.
Okay. You know what's funny about that, actually? I think I mentioned this at one point to Stu and Chinny, but like I was complaining about the game Life is Strange because, you know, they at one point somebody starts just spouting off arcane facts about the history of the daguerreotype, and I was like, no student could do that. So I said that to one of my classes, and one of my students, who's also a big roller coaster nerd, starts launching into this speech about like the first roller coaster ever made and the first 5 prototypes of this and that type of roller coaster. And I was like, all right, fair enough. Some high school students are that knowledgeable and nerdy.
Well, I don't know whether you know this, Duke. But when the big one at Blackpool Pleasure Beach was first launched back in the day, it was actually the steepest, I can't remember, it's steepest, highest, and longest or something roller coaster in the world when it was launched.
94.
Yeah.
I should have made clear. I'm not saying I'm interested in that information. I was just like impressed that a student knew that kind of stuff. So that's cool. I'll give him credit.
Oh my God, it was, my brain's just gone crazy.
You mean the fucking roller coaster in your home county? And you don't know?
No, it will come to me in a second. It's been a rough day.
You see, this is the trouble when you make these big claims, Jay.
I know. God, I need to back them up.
Back it up.
Oh my God, it's a defunct company now.
So I gave you more facts about the big one than you actually know as a roller coaster fucking nerd. Is that what you're telling me?
Hang on, it will come to me in a minute.
It will. I've Googled it. I'm just going to Google.
No, I'm not Googling. Not Googling. It will come to me in a second, but fucking hell.
Also, another fact. Do you want to know another fact about the big one at Blackpool?
Do I?
True fact. When it was being built, the people who were building it went up one day to check everything, you know, at the top of the tallest drop, and found a used condom up there, and someone had been up there in the night and had sex on the top.
No, they jerked off. I don't want to hear that. Nobody's having sex on top of a roller coaster.
They did. They had someone went up there and had sex. Because they found a used condom.
Yeah, but there's other ways to. First of all, you could put fucking
chances are
KY fluid into it. You don't know that was actual sex.
Well, I think
that's the name of the episode title. No sex with a condom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a wet, not a sex condom.
It was aerodynamics.
There you go.
Yeah, it was I remember the story being in the Lancashire Evening Post that someone had sex on the top of the big one.
Now we're talking about Lancashire Evening Post and sex on top of it. We're moving on. Good luck with your roller coaster there, Jay. That's very exciting, and kudos for all your hard work. That's very interesting.
Thank you. I'll upload it. You can see it once it's done.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And can I just say, the worst roller coaster nerd ever.
Now, so then
aerodynamics. I said it's Arrow. Aerodynamics. They're not around anymore. They were consumed. They're now morphed into the Vekoma.
There you go. Oh, I'll let you have it then.
Jay, so I assume you're not doing this on the Steam Deck.
No, this is on
precision.
Yeah,
required.
This is on the.
You got to do it on the PC here.
Yeah, this is on the PC, but you can do it on the Steam Deck. It does run on the Steam Deck, I believe.
Sure, but you know, do that. Yeah.
I mean, with the the connector thing you can get where you can plug your keyboard and your mouse and stuff in and plug a monitor in,
fair enough.
It will run on it.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure how big your part can be.
Right, and a bigger screen or 2 screens is useful for this. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you couldn't just use the Steam Deck.
Right. All right, so
yeah,
we're on
Planet
to
Coaster.
gaming news then. Is that right?
It is. We have got some news this week.
Putting news first.
I have amassed some news. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Anyway, this one is from IGN, and they say Starfield feels like Xbox's last chance at redemption.
What? Xbox's
That's what
last
they're
chance at
saying.
redemption. Why?
So this is what they say. It's no secret the gaming community is kind of angry at Xbox since Redfall released. It really felt like the straw that broke the camel's back. It seems that's more critics than anything, if I'm being told.
Well, yeah. Who else is a
For
person?
too long, Xbox fans have been asked to wait a little longer for the next amazing AAA game. But enough is enough, and Redfall was supposed to be that game, and look how that turned out. Now that Redfall is in the rearview mirror, aka uninstalled bin for most of it. I think they're being a bit harsh.
Wow,
if I'm being
damn.
honest.
What's up
This
there,
is
Hayden?
harsh.
Is this harsh?
It's time to look forward to the next big release, Starfield. If Starfield is a flop or suffers from any kind of major problem, or it's not all that fun, faith in Xbox's ability to deliver is going to further be shaken, and as a result, I imagine heads will roll at Xbox. So, what do you think of this?
All right, is this about exclusives? Because they're like,
Yeah, they're talking about things that are going to be exclusively available day one.
because I'm not
on Game
following
Pass
any of
and
that. I just
Xbox.
So it's a timed exclusive then.
Yeah, no, this is fully exclusive to Xbox.
Fully
This isn't
exclusive,
coming-
but it's
not
console
coming to
exclusive.
Sony.
But it is coming to
console,
Steam, right?
It's coming to Steam,
Okay,
obviously,
okay.
and
I was
PC,
gonna,
but obviously it's
I'd
not
fight
going to be
you.
on Sony. It's not gonna
Right.
be on the
Okay.
PS5.
I mean, but that was true of Redfall as well then?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I don't blame Xbox users for wanting exclusives. If I bought an Xbox One, I would want exclusives, sure. I mean, the problem
They
is
can't
that
fuck this up.
no, and the problem is that Sony has developed for years a certain number of series that people know they will be able to enjoy. Ratchet and Clank. Is Gran Turismo still a thing?
Yeah, that's on Sony though.
No, I know. I'm saying Sony has done a good job of making certain series that people know they will have as exclusives.
Let's be honest.
God of
The
War,
Last of Us,
Last
Uncharted,
of Us,
God
right?
of
Uncharted,
War.
yeah, sure. So Xbox
These
has
are all huge releases,
right, and Xbox hasn't invested that same money into making stuff that is gonna be coming out on a regular basis only for Xbox. You know what I mean? They've branched out in other ways. So I don't know. I don't think that an Xbox user should really be too angry about not having exclusives, but it does make it a valid question. Why should I have an Xbox if I could just as easily have a PS6 or whatever?
Well, I guess it comes down to Game Pass, doesn't it? A value
Right.
proposition.
Yeah, exactly. Because the Sony attempt to that just sucks, doesn't it? I mean, I don't know much about
It doesn't suck, but I don't think it's had the same traction.
It's not even close in terms of like the number of games they're offering, the variety, right?
No, and a lot of them are just Sony exclusive stuff. So
Right,
there's a lot of
right.
Sony stuff on there, which is
Yeah,
great because
Well,
people want that kind of stuff.
Of course. I mean, I would if I had a Sony. But
I
all
don't
the
know.
Sony stuff's coming to Steam these days. So like,
Yeah,
I've
it is.
always been like, oh man, these games I can't play. Horizon Zero Dawn, now it's on Steam. I think I even own it, but I haven't played it yet. Spider-Man, now it's on Steam. So the lesson is just wait, and it'll come to another console or Steam at least.
Yeah,
Get
yeah,
a
it
game on
will.
PC, you get the best of all worlds.
But Starfield, anyway, going back to Starfield, I
hey.
think it's probably going to be fine.
I
think
think
it's
it'll be a lot of
probably
fun.
gonna be
Bethesda knows what
okay.
they're doing, man, especially when it comes to science fiction games.
I hope it's not as beige as all the stuff I've seen up to now, So I do hope there's a bit more colour in the world, and it's not just grey and brown and beige.
Fallout 3 was the greenest gray ever, but that was a great game.
Yeah, well, it was, but I mean, when you've got the whole universe or galaxy or whatever to explore, you'd expect there to be some variation.
Well, maybe they're just saving that for day one release information.
The first minute of the video, I thought it was No Man's Sky that I was watching.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll
It
see.
looked
Not
very
long-
No Man's Sky like.
Yeah, we've not got long to wait either, so we'll.
Do we have a
soon know
release
one way
date?
or
What's the
other.
release date?
I think is it November? I feel like
That's
it's
still
in
a long
November.
time. What are you talking about? Not long to wait.
It's not. It's
That's
this
months.
year.
You get to have your whatever Hellblade 2 in a matter of weeks.
Yeah, it's not going to be long. It's not going to be long.
All right, next news.
Dying Light 2 has got an update coming which plans to ramp things up and make it even scarier. This is a game that I thought I would play day one, and I've never been that interested.
Okay.
Every time there's a Steam sale, I have a look, see how much it is, and I always go, yeah, it's still too much.
Yeah.
So
But you really like the first one, though.
Oh, I played and finished the first one. It was a lot of fun.
So why
fun
do
game.
you not care as much about this?
I don't know. I feel like they've made it too complicated. All this everything you do affects the world around you.
Fair enough.
Stuff.
Jay, did you play Dying Light?
Bothered.
No, I do want to though. I believe it's very good.
Yeah.
I've not played it.
Yeah,
not played it.
Do
you know about this? Futurama revival releases in July. Did you know this was...
I did. We are actually, by sheer coincidence, we had no idea that was happening. But we had, when the writer's strike hit and we suddenly had no Colbert and Daily Show to watch in the evenings, we were like, well, what else is there? And so we looked around and we were like, hey, there's a bunch of Futurama seasons that we have only seen once or maybe never seen. And so that's been, we've been watching Futurama. I think we'll probably get done with all the existing episodes right when the new episode comes out. So
I've been watching them all. I started again and I think I'm on the last season. I've probably got 5 or 6 more episodes to watch. I've been watching them all. I love Futurama so much.
Such a great
show. Love it so much.
Oh,
and there's one I've watched yesterday, which I've never seen before. I've no memory of it. So it was an episode. Oh, bloody hell. I've still got no memory of it. Trying to recall it.
It's because you were frozen for 1,000 years.
It was the professor. He met his parents or something. His parents came back.
Oh, wow. I don't think I've seen that one. So will be.
Yeah, and he had like a childhood trauma, and they try and resolve it. Anyway, yeah.
With my last breath, I curse Zoidberg.
Brilliant.
Yep, it's a great show. So that's good to know. More Futurama soon.
This doesn't surprise me because I talked a little bit about this when I played the game.
Go on.
But Hogwarts Legacy Datamine reveals a morality system where unforgivable curses came with a cost, along with bullying or extorting some of the NCPs in the game.
Okay.
Which I always thought was a bit weird because you could do all this heinous stuff to people or be horrible to them, and there was no penalty for doing it.
Huh.
But they obviously thought about it. Yeah.
I was told to steal something from some bloke's basement, and I did it.
Yeah.
And after that, I was looked upon with suspicion by passers-by. Like,
really?
that kid's up to no good. And
I don't remember that happening for me. I
No,
don't remember there being any repercussions for doing dodgy shit. I did loads of dodgy shit in Hogwarts.
So are you saying there is or
people
is
seem to
not,
like me.
or they're going to implement it?
No, it was in the game file. So when they looked,
they had it and then they took it out.
They had it and never
Gotcha.
used it. So what apparently would happen if you used a killing curse in the game?
Right.
You had 100 house points deducted from the player.
Interesting.
If you casted Imperious Curse, that was 50 points. Whereas in-game actions, extortion or bullying would have cost 50 and 25 points respectively. So you got house points removed for every time you did something dodgy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Just imagine the kids just being in court after murdering people, and that's their only
we'll take some
consequence.
Points,
I will take away 50 points from you. Now, go along.
Yeah.
Go and play.
Sure.
Take-Two hints Grand Theft Auto 6 could be out as early as next year. I don't think that would be a shock, to be honest.
No. As Chinny always says, they keep their cards real close to their chest.
Very close to their chest, so I'm not reading too much into that. Zelda's Tears of the Kingdom outsells Elden Ring equals Pokemon sales in its first 3 days.
Oh my god.
So in the first 3 days, Legend of Zelda has already managed to sell 10 million copies.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there you go. That's pretty impressive.
Never played a single Zelda.
So you've never played Breath of the Wild or anything?
Nope. Not played a single one.
You are missing out. Such a good game.
This is crazy. This game. I'm sorry. I'm looking on YouTube. This game has been out 2 weeks? Is that right?
Yeah.
This
I'm not sure
full
it's even
game walkthrough, I don't know when it came out, but it didn't come out that long ago. Like the fact that someone played it and posted the whole thing to YouTube, just crazy to me. Like as soon as I get it, I'm gonna, because you want to be the one who has the thing. You're gonna get all the views.
You want the one to be the one with all the hits, because that's how you
but
make the
I
cash.
play a video game to have fun with the game. I have a job. I guess that maybe this is that person's job.
Yeah, but the people make a lot of cash off getting lots of hits on the YouTube videos.
I just don't.
Yeah, it's all a race to get there first.
Yeah, it is. Arnold Schwarzenegger on more Terminator movies says, "I'm done," which I can't blame him, because the last ones have been shit.
Well, yeah.
So that's probably a good idea. Just saying. 7 months after PS5, Xbox Series XS passes 2 million sales in the UK. I thought it would have been more than this. I was quite shocked to read that they'd only sold 2 million S's and X's in the UK. Yeah. I just thought, I don't know, I thought it'd be more. I was kind of shocked. I was like, wow, I was expecting to be that ages ago. Because let's be honest, it's been out a long time. It's been out nearly 3 years.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? 2.5 years it's been out, and it's only sold 2 million. That doesn't sound a lot of consoles to me.
No.
So it's no wonder they're worried about
maybe
Game Pass and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And finally, Xbox's Activision Blizzard deal has been approved by the European Commission.
Okay. Why was it in any doubt?
Oh yeah, I mean the UK, the thingies and mergers
because of monopoly.
Because of monopoly, you're saying definitely never. Sony's been kicking up a massive fuss about it all, saying it would be unfair to gamers.
It's just weird. I can't imagine. You have a government system that takes care of monopolies. Like, what the heck? What a notion.
I know.
That's so weird.
Monopolies and mergers, man. They're having none of this shit.
Imagine that.
But European Commission's approved it, but in the UK at the moment, they're still saying it's not a thing.
So they won't be able to sell. Well, I don't know. I guess they have to do their corporate structuring differently in different countries.
Yeah. So there's still a lot of work to be done on this, but yeah. Apparently, the United States Federal Trade Commission is going to scrutinize it as well.
Yeah, scrutinize. Like,
but
how much of a bribe can we get here? Look at my badge. It says cash bribes only.
They sued to block the acquisition in December 2022 with a hearing set for August 2nd this year, apparently.
And then someone came in and went, "Oops, what's this money I left on the table?" And then suddenly, there's no more suit. Well, what do you know? I'm sorry. I'm very cynical about our government's willingness to go after monopolies or block mergers. Doesn't happen very often.
I know. Well, apparently they're doing it, so who knew? You could be wrong.
We'll see. I mean, it's one thing for the SEC to go after it. It's another thing for whoever monitors the SEC. Congress is constantly defunding them, and the courts are always overruling them. So we'll see. It's one thing. Again, it depends on how the suit shakes out.
I think what kind of amazes me is that a British thing like it's actually the Competition and Markets Authority in the UK, which is blocking the deal going through.
Yeah.
So it's a United Kingdom thing that is basically stopping them from doing it.
Right. Yeah,
which is it's kind of amazing, really, isn't it?
Sure.
So yeah, they've still got to get that. They're appealing the CMA's decision. Though this by itself is an incredible undertaking, will take months to overcome, if at all. The CMA has won 67% of merger appeals, and even Microsoft gets the UK's Competition Appeal Tribunal on its side.
Yeah.
The deal will still have several more steps to go through before another decision is made. I mean, these are big guys. These guys stop shit happening.
Sure, apparently.
So there you go. So it's kind of interesting. That's kind of it for news. So it is time for some emails.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, that ruled.
So last week, Mark Singh sent us a quiz, which was kind of where the English sayings originate, or where the sayings originate from.
Yeah.
Well, he sent us some more this week.
Oh, sweet.
It's time for the quiz. It's time for the quiz. We play this shitty sound clip when it's time for the quiz.
Now, I'm trying not to look at the answers here. What he could do is send the questions in one email and answers in another email.
That
then we're
would
not
be good.
Sort of,
you listening?
Seeing them.
Yeah.
So for this week's What Does It Really Mean is the first one is, and I'm trying not to look, heard it through the grapevine.
That was from the
So I will
California
click off.
Raisins commercial. No, I don't
Is
know.
that really true?
No, I know they used a song that was heard it through the great Curtis Mayfield. I assume that people picking grapes told gossip, and therefore it was that's how you heard things.
I think that sounds pretty plausible, I've got to
Yeah.
say. I don't know whether that's the answer, but I
Jay,
think
do you
that
have a
sounds
guess about where that?
pretty
So,
much-
what are we
Heard it.
guessing exactly?
So there's an expression.
Well, we're guessing
you guess where the
these
expression came from.
where they originated from.
Oh, right.
So the first one is heard it through the grapevine. So where did that originate?
France.
That's probably
Brilliant.
a good guess.
It's probably a good guess, but I actually think Duke's guess sounds more accurate. That
Well,
they
but it
used
could
to
be people
gossip
in France picking grapes.
while they were picking grapes,
Yeah.
and they used to gossip. And they
I heard it
while they
through
were-
the grapevine.
when they were on the grapevine.
Oh,
Well, let's see if it's
alors.
true. Are you ready?
Merci beaucoup. Allons-y.
To hear or learn something new in the origin, no, Marvin Gaye did not come up with this one. It
Marvin Gaye,
actually
sorry.
dates back to the time of telegraphs.
Really?
Many people thought the telegraph wiring resembled grapevine, so when they received a new message, they would say they heard it through the grapevine.
How about that?
So there
That's
you
crazy. Go figure.
In
No,
France.
The
In
rest of these
France,
are
yeah.
in France, yeah. The
They
rest of
use
these are fine
telegraphs in
because I
France.
can
Yeah.
slowly scroll.
There you go.
So the second one is to cost an arm and a leg.
Once upon a time, people would sell their children, and then they'd amputate their arms and legs in order to pay off debts for gambling. How the fuck am I supposed to know where that came from?
Cost an arm and a leg. So,
Yeah.
Jay, any ideas? Where did this saying originate? It costs an arm and a leg.
There must be some kind of animal with arms
of a
and
chicken or
legs
something?
with
I
a
don't know.
particular value to them. I don't know, a cow.
I mean, I always thought it was like just idiomatic, like they're taking my arms and legs.
It costs an arm and a leg.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like a loan shark reference that they would literally take an arm and a leg
Wow,
depending on how
that's
much
a
you
bit-
owed.
That's a bit extreme though, because if you couldn't work, how are you going to pay your loan off? I don't know. I don't know about that. My guess is right, and this is a guess. Well, obviously, but I think it refers to buying a made-to-measure suit, and the cost of a suit was expensive. So if you bought a made-to-measure suit, it cost you an arm and a leg. So obviously, you get an armhole and a pants leg. I don't know. That's what I'm going with.
Suits are cheaper when you're quadrophenic.
That's true. That's true. Are you ready? The answer is
Yeah.
there's some disagreement about whether this originates around the time of soldiers who were losing limbs fighting.
Hey,
for
I
the-
totally called it. That's what I said, basically, kind of.
and
Not really.
World War II.
Yeah.
Or if it dates back to the time when oil painting portraits were a popular thing, since oil painters would charge based on the size of the painting. It was more expensive if you had your arms and legs included in the painting compared to just your head and shoulders.
Interesting.
I like both
Brilliant.
of those. I like both of those. It could be either. I'm going with the oil painting one. I like that one better. What about you two? Which do you prefer? The losing your arms in the army?
I think it's more realistic to think that it came from war, but yeah, it's a cute idea that it came from oil paintings.
Yeah, that it sounds less horrific.
It's very classy. Yeah.
I think I know where the next one comes from.
Okay, let's hear it.
Comes from. So the saying is, when you win hands down. You know, when you win hands
I
down.
would assume it's poker.
Yeah, it's going blind in poker. Surely that's what it means. That's what I would have said exactly. Same. Jay, what do you think? If you win something hands down.
Something hands down. Yeah, it does sound very pokery.
Maybe you're putting your hands down someone's pants.
Yeah, I don't think that's the origin of this saying.
A lot of people like to put their hands down pants.
Okay, Duke.
Hands down.
While Jay's
I
thinking,
don't
if you want to email us, the email address is, what is it? VG Podcast UK?
Yeah, vgpodcastuk@gmail.com.
Gmail.com. I'm going to update this on the show notes.
Or it could be a boxing reference and they just didn't have a guard up or anything and still won the fight.
That would be
So that
gloves
could be.
down. They use gloves.
Well, I
in
guess.
boxing. I mean, except in Snatch when they're using the bare knuckle bucks.
They're gonna be that. But that's the only other thing I can think of. Yeah, have you got anything before we do the answer?
Oh, I don't know. My brain can't think of things.
Okay, here we go. The origin of this is, oh God, it's absolutely neither of those things.
Wow.
So this one comes from horse racing and refers to the grip a jockey has on the horse.
Horses don't have hands. What are you talking about?
If the horse is in first and far ahead of the rest, the jockey can drop his hands down to loosen the reins and win hands down.
Huh. Okay. Well, that's very interesting.
That's pretty cool. I would have never have known that, so that's pretty cool.
Go figure.
Okay. And that's it till next time. So he's going to send us some more.
Okay,
so
well,
keep
we
them coming.
appreciate that.
We're liking this.
Good
We didn't get
out.
any this week, by the way. You kind of got the World War II one to an extent.
Kind of, but not really. I said people sold their kids.
Yeah, you did. It wasn't really
That's
the
not
same
exactly
thing.
what happened in
but-
World War II.
Not exactly, but it did involve limbs being removed.
Well,
so
there
you know.
So I'll take it. I'm the
yeah.
smartest person here. No.
You
All right.
are
Do we
the
have any
smartest
speak
person.
pipes?
We've got another email.
Oh,
Just
sweet,
Steady
another
on,
email,
steady on there, dude. And this is from Jacinta.
Oh yeah, I got a sound
And
clip
she-
for that. You ready? Here we go.
Yeah, we have. Here we
Derek.
go.
Sounds like a great guy.
There you go.
Oh wait,
Brilliant.
it's this one.
Her name is Jacinta.
Yeah, it is. And she says, Weird West.
Hey, she played the game that we were talking about.
I'm a potato.
Yeah. And she says, Hey, guys.
Hey.
No voice clip today because it's late and I'm lazy.
You got excuses all the time, Jacinta. What are we paying you for?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was pretty excited to try this game as I heard the interview with one of the developers on another podcast and it seemed really cool.
Cool.
I like the idea of an immersive Sims genre, which I haven't heard that much about.
Yeah.
I didn't. Did you think of this as an immersive
No, but
Sim?
I saw something about like, oh, it's an immersive sim. It's not. I
It felt
wouldn't
more
call
like
it
a isometric RPG to me, but
right,
that's just me.
right. When I think of Sims, I think of like going hard on certain processes, like mowing lawns or power washing or
something
repairing
that
homes or
simulates
whatever.
real life. I'd
Yeah,
have
exactly.
said. I don't know.
Trains.
But alas, I only played for maybe 15 minutes. I can't handle a high camera perspective that you have to rotate rather than being truly isometric.
Yeah.
I guess I just like I'm just that way and used to ARPGs. I probably didn't give it enough of a chance, and I'm not necessarily saying it's a piece of shit, but it's certainly not for me.
Well, I'll play that sound clip anyway because I just love it so much. Bill Hicks.
There you go.
We love you, buddy.
The art style was cool, and I kind of liked the small amount of shooting I did do, but the story didn't exactly grip me, and I found myself spamming through dialogue. I also found the contradiction between the in-game model of your character and the artistic representation in the menus was really weird.
Yeah, that's fair.
You look like a potato in the game. And very hot in the art style menu. Very confusing.
I'm a potato.
Hope you had a good week, Jacinta. So,
Thank you, Jacinta. We appreciate that.
We do. We haven't chosen a game for this week yet.
That's true. We
So
haven't.
We do need to choose a game.
I don't know what's on Game Pass these days. Let me look and see.
I don't know. Let's have a look.
Yeah,
Let's have a
okay.
look.
Jay, do you have any game that you would like to see us play next week?
Yeah, what do you want to see us play?
Ooh, you put me on the spot here. Does it have to be a Game Pass game?
Yeah,
That's the best
that's what we kind of do.
Because
Okay.
we
It's
know
just
we all
easier.
have access to them. Oh, dude, y'all haven't played
Hang on,
Superland,
give me a-
have you?
You haven't what?
Superland?
No, well, I was actually just looking at Eastern Exorcist. That's meant to be pretty
Eastern
good.
Exorcist.
Hang on, let me have a quick look on here.
I'd vote for Superland because Superland, I played the first one and it's really good. And it's fun. It's
Yeah,
weird.
there's-
It's different. This looks like a fighting game. We've played a million fighting games. 2D side-scrolling action RPG. Eesh.
Well, we can play Superland. Shall we do that?
Yeah, do Superland. 6 inches under.
under.
That's
Yeah.
right. You're a little tiny person, and it's like this big world. It's kind of like Grounded, except there's no crafting. You're just running around.
Oh, well,
doing
we'll give it a
stuff.
go.
Yeah,
So that's
that's
the
the game
game
for next
for
week, y'all. Superland. 6 inches under.
Superland.
Get it like 6
Superland
feet
it is,
under,
actually.
but 6 inches
Superland,
instead.
6 inches under.
Yep.
Glad I could help.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
And that's it, I guess. So on that note, it's time to do some shout outs and get the hell out.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
All right, Jay, you have the honor.
You do.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, I would like to shout out you guys. Yeah. It's always exciting being your fourth choice.
It was great to have you.
How many people did you ask before me?
You were the first person. You were totally the first person I asked. That's totally true. That 100%.
Sex noises.
Yeah, I did.
Oh shit! But okay,
no, it's true. No, I honestly, hand on heart, and that's a big
I don't
thing
think
for me,
Stu would lie about this. There's no real
hand on heart. You were the first person I asked. And incidentally, you were the first person I asked last time as well, and then you didn't fucking bother coming. So,
well, no, it's not that I said yes, I'd come, and then just didn't.
Yeah, you just didn't bother.
Say I was.
You were busy. You said you were busy or something. I don't know. You came up with some
work ain't nothing but work.
I think I was. I think you asked me. Yeah, I think you asked me in the winter, and I was doing Potter. So yeah, sorry. But yeah, no, it's been a thrill coming on the show. It's weird because I'm sort of sat there listening, and then you suddenly ask for my opinion. I'm like, oh fucking hell! I'm not listening to the podcast on the way to work. This is actually live.
Of the machine.
Yeah, it is.
Hey.
Yeah, it is.
I need to actually answer things.
You do. You have to have opinions and everything.
There you go.
Fucking hell! Didn't expect
about your
that.
roller coaster.
But yeah, no, it's been an absolute thrill. So I'm very. It's been great. Thank you very much for having me on. I'll shout out Chinny as well for not being here to allow me to be here. I hope he's having a fantastic time in Vegas. I hope he's not slept with too many prostitutes, and if he has, I hope he's rubbered up.
Yeah. Let's hope he's used protection.
On top of a roller coaster.
Yeah, on top of a roller coaster.
On top of a roller coaster. And I'd like to shout out Joysticks and Chill guys. So Hardly Dan, Nezzy, John Mouse, they're my boys. We do lots and lots of podcasts, literally 2 or 3 a year.
It does seem that, I've got to say.
But they're worth it every time, people.
They are totally worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's great fun doing a show with them when we finally get a chance to, and it's great being on here and not having to worry about having to do levels and editing and
I got it all covered.
Do all the hosting and stuff. Yeah,
that's right.
This is the excuse me, my throat just got dry.
And we're not getting any strikes this week because I'm not.
No, you've been good. You've behaved yourself this week.
Well, I decided I'm sick of hearing people kvetching, so I'll just do it with some colorful thing in the back, and that's it.
Yeah,
by the way, in terms of the sound effects, I do love your sound effects in general. For some reason, that story time one that you use, it irked me. I don't know why. It's when you meet someone like in work or whatever, and you hate them, but you don't really know why.
That's suspicious.
It's that. It's the same thing with that. Okay. So, I mean, by all means, carry on playing it. Ignore me.
Well, I mean, I will. I'm not going to ignore you, but I will. I will play it despite the fact you don't like it.
Exactly.
Can I just say before we move on, and I had seen this, Jason, before I saw your curt messages. But Jason decided to send us an email 40 minutes ago after we'd started the show, which is kind of a Jason thing to do.
That's okay.
And then expects me to notice.
But he put it in the thing. He said in the chat, heads up to the old email address.
Yeah, he did, but I didn't realize that he'd sent us an email to the older because he refuses to use a new one for whatever reason best known to himself.
If we're not going to shut it down, we should still use it and check it.
Well, yeah. Okay. So here it is.
So here's another email. I'm just playing. Go ahead.
I'll read it quickly between the shout outs. So he says, I'm moving on up now out of the old email veterans. I understand you probably will no longer get these communications, but I have come to expect interference, as a wise old owl once said. Look, I ordered Primal Scream Red album cover Screamadelica nostalgia hat from the England. Such a great album, can I just say? Okay. What an album. I paid $18 shipping because I believed it was to be an original hat made for the band shop. So over $50. $50 for a hat.
Jesus.
I got that piece of shit in the mail. It was made in China tag.
Oh,
and
no.
I was cat stuck all over it. I might as well have ordered from California. Do better over the veterans, Jason. So there you go.
Okay, well, here's Jason before we read his email.
So, ain't you guys gonna ask me about my hat?
Hey, he got a new hat. I got a new hat. What's wrong with y'all? Don't have new hats.
There you go.
Hi, Jason, by the way.
Hi,
Hello.
Jason. Sorry,
I've never actually engaged with Jason.
Yeah.
Oh, you're missing it. You're missing out big time. You're missing out.
Yeah.
I've used a lot of his emails for my quizzes, I remember.
There you go.
Yeah.
And they all involved poo.
They did all involve poo. Oh, and a shout out to the Video Game Outsiders. I had to send them an email concerning their reviews of Zelda. Hopefully you twats get it right. I'm fusing Koroks together, Korok Centipede, because we all want to get loaded when we want to have a good time. I like that. Hey, I'm going to get loaded. We're going to have a time. We're going to have a party.
Okay.
So there you go.
You combining them with humans then?
Okay.
Get it?
I
Human
don't
centipede?
wanna lose your love. I know, yeah. I don't want to lose your love. Ooh. There you go. Bit of screamadelica there for you.
Okay.
Yeah, Matt, I'll do my shout outs. I'm going to shout out Jay, of course, for helping out tonight because Chinny's a slacker who decided to go to
punk.
Vegas instead.
Jet setting money man. I think I'll go to Vegas for the weekend and meet some friends.
Go to Vegas, wasting money in the casinos.
I'll play some roulette.
Yeah. And obviously, shout out to Chidi. I hope he's having a lovely time.
Yeah, you punk.
We found me, but it was way too expensive, including my now
it's
very
a bad
expensive
time of the
travel
year for me.
insurance.
Do it in the summer.
Well,
you punks.
yeah, my travel insurance is extortionate, and I have to resort to fucking Saga because I'm over 50 and I've got a heart condition, and Saga's the only place that'll insure me now.
Oh, my heart every week. Wham, wham, wham. What about my heart?
Yeah, if I don't feel old enough already, fucking Saga makes me feel even older. Just saying.
Sure.
So there you go. That's my shout out,
Okay.
Duke.
I will shout out Amar because he's always sending me interesting stuff on WhatsApp. And he asked about Greg's last week. And then this week, what did he say for me to ask you about? And I know Chinny isn't here, but I think he sent me something about it. And I just forgot what it was I'm supposed to ask about. Give me a second. Hang on. Greg's Mortal Kombat, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Oh, my God. All this
You're doing a really good job of this.
Well, I know, but what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to, write it down when he first sends it to me? Cummerbund, Aaron.
Pressamanja, was it something to do with that?
Oh, yeah, here we go. You got Briggs. You can even buy Greg's branded clothing. Damn it.
Was that not last week?
I thought he said... No, I know. I thought he said that I needed to ask about something else now. No, that was it. Never mind.
I don't know.
I guess he didn't. I imagine that.
He did. I mean, he did. It was on Twitter. He said Pret was going to buy my query for the next show.
Oh, okay.
Just as many, if not more, Prets than Greg's in the UK.
Right,
in London,
that's
there
it.
are two on every corner. No lie, honest.
So, what do y'all think about Pretz?
I've never been in one. I've never
really?
been in a Pretamanja or whatever they're called.
Pretamanja.
Pretamanja.
It's just a posh one. It's just very expensive sandwiches.
Okay, so you don't eat there.
They're quite nice, but they're expensive.
And they killed a girl once, so
What?
you know. Yeah, a girl had a really serious nut allergy, and they told her that there was no nuts in the sandwich, and she ate the sandwich and died.
Oh,
and they
God.
got sued for a lot of money.
Sure. I mean, if you're going to lie to people about something that could kill them.
And after that came all these very strict rules now in the UK for labelling all allergens in all food.
Again, you have a government
following
authority that makes people label things. You have a government that can get companies to do things. That's just so cute. Imagine if that happened here. Anyway, I will shout out Jay for coming on, and shout out Jason for emailing us, and shout out Charlie for asking us questions about what games to play, and shout out Trite for driving around. And shout out to everybody who's listening, and Jacinta for sending in messages, and everyone who's part of our community. We love you. You're the reason we do this. Are we done?
Yeah, can I just say as well? I just, when you're saying about that we do stuff in the UK.
Yes.
It actually a law came into pass called Natasha's Law. So that's what happened as a result of her dying from eating a baguette with some sort of nut in it.
Wow.
And her family campaigned for this law to be passed. So it was due to her family campaigning that got the law passed in the UK.
That's interesting because, again, we've had a lot of school shootings, and there have been parents of the kids killed in those school shootings who have campaigned for laws to restrict guns. And our Congress goes, yeah, I'm sorry to hear about your kid. Get fucked. We're still going to have AR-15s in every corner of every country, in every state, and every... Oh, don't get me started.
Yeah. It appears
All
that's
right,
the way it
show's
is in
over.
America.
No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
Won't you?
On that note,
Won't you? Won't you? Won't you? Won't you just switch off the television set and go and do something less boring instead? Sit at home, watch TV, turn it up, smoke good to me. Perfectly level flying is the supreme challenge of the scale model pilot. Why don't you go?
Here at the Fun Zone, we live by one rule. When it's your birthday, you are always cool. Parents and kids are all the same. Watch as I do a dance to your name.
Brilliant.
Jay. Jay.
Did you watch Eurovision?
No, I watched a bit of it, but only because I was forced to.
Oh, Eurovision's great. Did you not see it, Duke? Is that not?
No, I've never seen it. Who do you like in
You know,
Eurovision this year, Jay?
Oh, I loved Finland.
Okay.
Did you love Finland?
The Cha Cha Cha. Oh, I love it.
Okay.
It reminded me of it when you talk about the human centipede because it's just this weird dance move where they all kind of join together and you
Oh
kind
yeah,
of like.
no, I did see
Oh, and they
that.
put their mouth in the person's rectum. Is that what they did? What the hell?
Yeah,
How does that
that's
fit
exactly
into
what
human
happened.
centipede? You know, they're
But
doing
yeah,
that
you see-
dance.
yeah,
It's like the
anyway.
human centipede. You know? What? That's so
Anyway,
weird.
yeah. So, yeah. I just wanted to know what your opinion was. If you, if you thought they were robbed, like I did.
Oh.
Who
The
won?
Swedes. Finland got the popular vote, but
Okay.
Right, okay.
Sweden got the judge vote.
Well, as long as
they
Scandinavia
won by a
won it
little bit.
somehow, like, yeah.
I don't know. The UK entry was trash.
Yeah, that wasn't
All I
great.
know.
What
No,
was it?
I wrote it's called I Wrote a Song or something. It was called.
Wow. Is that a takeoff on I
was-
Kissed a
yeah.
Girl? I wrote a
was
song and I
really
liked it.
terrible.
And it goes like this, the song you're listening to now.
I can't
It's a
remember
very
which one it
meta
was.
song.
There was one country did it, and it was like a bit of a disco house tune, and I kind of liked that one, but I
Huh?
can't remember which country it was.
Zimbabwe?
No,
Japan?
but it was pretty good. It was
Costa
probably
Rica?
the best thing I heard all night. I
Is it
don't know.
Australia?
I don't know. Australia's in it, which is weird because it's not
What?
part of Europe.
I was
but who
totally
knew?
joking. Are you serious?
Yeah, no,
What?
Australia
What?
are in the
That's
Eurovision.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah, oh, yeah.
That makes no sense.
yeah.
That makes as much
it
sense as
doesn't.
Zimbabwe and Costa Rica being in it.
Yeah.
Learn
yeah.
your geography, Eurovision. Come on, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, it's
Well,
Europe.
it's not
It's
like
Europe
Britain.
and the English-speaking colony that we started with.
It's only
convicts.
like Britain's Got Talent, where they have like probably one act from Britain and the rest are from all over the different countries.
Well,
So it's
They
like
just
the whole
they tour around, don't they? They go to Britain's Got Talent, and Germany's Got
Yeah,
Talent, and
yeah.
France has Got Talent. You just
No.
tour around and
The
try and
whole
get as far
world's
as they
got
can
talent.
in
do
all
they,
them.
though? Do all those countries
It's just
actually have
awful.
talent?
I hate that show with a passion.
Well, I like on Monty Python one time
awful.
they were like, "It's talent spotting time, so let's see if you can spot any talent in our next act."
Yeah.
Classic.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've got to go.
Anyways.
All
right.
So thank you guys.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank
Have
you.
a
been
good
an
rest of the
absolute
night.
pleasure.
Thanks for
Thank you
listening,
very much.
everybody.
And thanks for everyone listening.
I'm gonna